everybody, welcome to another Age of Grogu, and I have with me as always Jason, Max, and Elijah. And you'll have to forgive Jason's background noise. He's got
He's
the
at
tribe
preschool.
over, it seems. But yeah, how you doing, guys? How's things?
Hey, going well.
I'm good, man.
Yeah, cool. What's everyone's week been like?
We're the white side. You guys are the black side. White t-shirts, black t-shirts.
Oh yeah, that works. I
Nice.
didn't even pick that. That's funny. Hang on, wait. Now we got to do this. Now we have to kind of switch this around a little bit.
You're a yin
There you go.
Ah.
Yin yang. Yes, there you go. All right, that works. That's
It's like
it.
Thanos.
Yeah,
Everything
that's
balanced.
it. Everything's balanced.
As it should be.
For sure. Yeah, guys, how's everyone's week been? What's been going on? Elijah, much going on?
I think I worked this week.
You work with me
remember.
this week. Yeah, briefly. Yeah.
Yeah, a little
We had one
foggy.
day.
Been sitting
Yeah.
around a bit. Worked
Yeah.
a little bit,
Yeah.
and it's Sunday already.
Yeah, I know. It's like Sundays just
Because it
keep
feels
coming
like we
on
just
so
did
quickly.
this.
I know.
Well,
Yeah.
You know,
Why
days.
does it go back so quick?
It's
Why is it so quick, guys?
I don't know.
What's going
Well, it seems
on?
like it was
We're
yesterday.
getting older, and just life is moving at the speed
Yeah.
of Sundays.
The day,
Yeah.
the day in relation to a span of a year for us.
Yeah. Oh,
That's it.
this year.
Yeah.
I mean, we're almost to October already.
I know. It's
Insane.
crazy. Insane. Max, what you been up to this week? Anything cool?
Working. But big news in
comics?
comics this week.
Yeah?
For right
Okay.
now, the man, the myth, the legend. Where is he?
Okay.
Alfred Pennyworth is back,
Oh,
There
okay.
it is.
There you go.
and I got signed by Mark Wade.
Ooh, cool.
That's pretty cool.
Gosh, you get
Yeah.
everything signed, man. You get so many signings.
Oh, sorry.
Hello.
There you go. My bad.
Is that's like Alfred's default look, right? Like
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
bald and mustache.
Hey, Lavelle, how's it going?
He's been like dead for a couple of years. Bane snapped his neck like 2019, something like
Oh,
that.
Bane killed another member of the Batman family then?
He killed Alfred like 2019, and Damien watched and
All
did
right.
nothing.
He didn't-
and it's like,
He didn't kill Bat. He just broke him.
Black Loki, his children. That's coming from Jason.
Oh yeah,
now,
sorry.
now
this
Alfred's
is,
back.
J-
Pretty
I
exciting.
got kids.
Yeah.
Kids at the house.
Jason's got the whole tribe in. Yeah, that's cool. You also had a interesting little run-in with somebody this week.
Oh yeah,
Max.
yeah. Dan Fogler was doing a signing at a comic book store yesterday. He was signing
Yeah?
a bunch of books. I got this signed.
Nice.
Yeah,
Very
I was
good.
a fan
Good
of
for
The
the
Walking Dead. I love
Yeah.
the books he's written. He's made some great movies. Balls of Fury, Fanboys.
I keep forgetting he's in The Walking
Award.
Dead. So he's survived all this time in the recent years of Walking Dead then, huh?
Yeah, he's in the last
He's the-
2 seasons.
He's
Yeah.
the nomad in the Beasts and the
Yeah, he's in
The
he's in that too.
Okay.
yeah, he's in the new Harry Potter series, Fantastic
Yeah.
Beasts. We call him a nomad.
They're your nieces, Jason?
My friend Ray, it's her kids, and my
Oh, yeah.
sister's kids too.
That's cool.
We had brunch. We hosted brunch this week,
Nice.
so we had like breakfast tacos, and we made chicken and waffles for the kids with dino nuggets and
Okay.
Fun.
Eggo waffles.
Oh, that's fun.
Dino nuggets. That's cool. So what you
Dino
been up
nuggets
to?
are
Yeah?
funny.
Yeah.
I saw a
What you been up
comic earlier today. Speaking
Mhm.
of dino nuggets,
yeah?
it had like a dinosaur talking to like someone telling the future and said that,
Okay.
"Oh, we'll be eating we'll be eating your descendants, and we will shape them like you, and we will
Okay.
cook them with your fossilized bones."
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So it's like the dino nugget would
pretty funny.
represents like Baudrillard's simulacra.
Mhm.
It's a good example of the simulacra by Jean Baudrillard.
Yeah, with the
gen-
kids,
the-
do the kids get that
The
reference? Do they like that?
representation of
Went
something.
right over the kids'
Right.
heads.
Yeah, like kids. Let me tell you
Yeah.
about this.
Like
Yeah.
it's going over Brent's head right now.
You need a drink of water.
Yep, that's it. Yeah. I had a little bit of work this week, nothing much, but mostly just been playing around on computer designs for 3D printing stuff and trying to do a few bits and pieces. But yeah, it's been a pretty quiet week. I did,
Pondering the orbs.
yeah, pondering the odds. Actually, I caught up with Rings of Power this morning, episode
Speaking
4.
of poor orb pondering,
Orb pondering. Yeah.
you got to see Gladriel ponder an orb.
Yeah, we did. That was interesting. Would
It
that
wasn't
have been
very
this?
nice to her.
It wasn't. Yeah. Is that the same orb as Saruman, or I guess
There's
probably-
they say there's
They
like
said
7 of them,
Yeah,
right?
that was it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Out
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
some
Yeah.
have never been found. So I guess
Yeah.
Saruman has one.
Yep. Actually, we're going to throw this out here
Yeah, man.
because
Shoot.
Lavelle had
You got
a
a
Marvel. question for Max. So let's send that forward, Lavelle, and let's see if we can get that answer.
More of it.
Yeah, I mean, I thought this episode picked up a little bit in Lord of the Rings. Have you guys catch episode 4 yet, Jason, Max?
Yeah, it was a lot better because
Yeah.
of less Galadriel. To be honest, that was what made
I
it so
think,
much
yeah,
better. I
right.
thought I
I've
loved
said it.
Galadriel
It's
the first
she's
two
the one who's
episodes.
boring.
Yeah,
Like we got to see some
Elrond was
orcs. Got good
Yeah.
some good
Oh, the
good
orcs
orc
are awesome.
time.
yeah.
I
I'm
love the
having fun with
design
it.
of the orcs.
Yeah,
I love the design
Yeah.
of the orcs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like pale.
Yeah,
time
I
around.
love the headpieces they wear with like the bones and all
There's
that.
like little.
Yeah.
Liz pointed out she reminded her of Khonshu.
yeah,
With
yeah.
a
They
bunch of
did. Yeah, that was
conches.
my first reaction. Yeah. But yeah, I kind of. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm out of all the shows currently playing, it's the one I'm least enjoying, which surprised me. I think it's just moving at a slow pace, and it's taking me some time to get familiar with all these characters and the world building that's going on right now. And it feels like it's going to pick up steam as it goes
See,
on.
the world is built.
Well,
You
no,
know
it's
this
built.
world. It's
No,
established.
not really. See,
Characters, too.
no,
But it's like-
Elrond, you know,
some of them, but
But we're
it's-
seeing it
yeah.
in different forms. Like I've never seen
Yeah.
I've never seen the height of like the dwarf mine. Like this mine,
Correct,
we've seen
exactly.
it before. It was already
Yeah.
like everyone was massacred.
No,
So
totally.
it's kind of
Yeah.
nice seeing all of that. But
No,
like, what's annoying
it
to
is,
me
yeah.
is their storytelling
Yeah.
and the way they do everything.
Yeah.
Everyone seems like they're like that they're all method actors in a role for a Shakespeare play.
Yeah, that's what's
Especially that
that's
guy
it.
with the beard
Yeah.
who they introduced. It's
Yeah.
like, what are you doing? You prepping for a role or something?
Yeah.
Just with this like this bolsterous attitude, man. It's kind of annoying to me.
Yeah.
It's like watching Lord of the Rings compared to Game of Thrones currently.
Yep.
Hey,
Kazu.
we got-
Oh, we got children.
Kazu's named after the guitarist from Blonde Redhead.
Yeah.
nice.
But
Yeah.
so watching like Game of Thrones compared to like Rings of Power kind of
Yeah.
reminds me of watching like SNL compared to Mad TV at the moment.
Right.
That
Yeah.
is such a good comparison. Two different sides of the spectrum, both in
Yeah.
terms of just like what they have access to and the way they're doing it.
Yeah.
Mhm. Right?
And they're two totally different shows at the same time. But I mean, is this kind of like, are we going to see a less of an interest in one show over the other? Do you think over the course?
I think it's going to be Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon is going to be a lot more successful.
Yeah.
But Amazon's going to keep pushing with Lord of the Rings. They've already
Oh, of course.
set the budget for 50 episodes.
No, totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
So we're
Yeah.
gonna get that whether we like it or not. And let's
We
just
are,
hope it,
yeah.
let's just
Yeah.
hope they do better. Because like another thing that bugs me about watching that is that
Mm.
they'll leave you hanging,
Yes. Yes.
but then they'll open up something like, oh, what
Yeah.
is that? And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, you're gonna have to
I-
wait. It's like, what are you using? What are you
Mm.
using like reality show tactics to keep us drawn in? Come on.
Yeah.
We're like
yeah.
4 episodes in, and we know almost nothing. We know nothing more about
Yeah.
what the hell it is, other than
Exactly.
it's
I don't know
related to
anything.
Sauron.
Four
Oh
episodes
yeah,
in,
Elijah
I
knows
don't
nothing
know.
on it. Yeah, I did like the opening of this scene. Obviously, there's a prophecy that's told for I can't remember the name of the land off the top of my head, but
Yeah.
for the
I'm
flood
just
that's
frustrated.
coming.
I was like, give the baby
Is
back
that-
to the lady. Jeez.
I assume that's something that's in one of the books that this place gets destroyed. I'm going to assume.
Yeah.
not too
I don't know,
sure.
it's just all still rough.
Yeah,
Like I was just talking to my friend yesterday. He's read the Silmarillion and all of that.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like a huge Tolkien nerd, and yeah, he's invested just because
Right.
any fan of Tolkien. I know like hardcore Tolkien heads were down with the Hobbits and watched them all,
yeah,
and they're
right.
just happy to see it on the screen, regardless
Yeah.
of how the Hobbit was. But
So
it's just they're still veering off. They like
Yeah.
you said, Max. Like right, it's just a bunch of what they have rights to, what are they allowed to talk
Yeah,
about,
yeah.
right?
They have to
Yeah.
dance over and around
Mhm.
a lot of
Yeah.
things and names and events.
Which apparently I heard that the Lord of the Rings movies were similar in a sense.
Kind of.
Like,
They had access
didn't
to
have the
more.
stamp of approval
yeah,
by the Tolkien, whoever manages them, but
yeah,
they had a lot of designers who worked on stamped approved stuff
Yes,
for
yeah.
Tolkien, and
Yeah.
they were able to bring that into the movies, so they
Right.
could have like the, just the production design and design of everything accurate as possible.
yeah. Just quickly, just to answer Lavelle's question for Max there, do you know if Valkyrie can create magical
Oh yes,
portals?
yes. Okay, so
Right.
she cannot do that. That is
It's
something
the
they just put in the
Pegasus.
movie.
Okay.
They just I don't know why they did
They,
that because they made it
Okay.
easy.
they
All right.
needed they. I mean, how
Because
else
it,
are you gonna get there? And
yeah,
so they mentioned early in the movie that, oh, can you bring your portal Pegasus? Like
yeah.
they
Oh, okay.
in passing they established that this Pegasus can open portals.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So it's
Yeah,
the
but that's not a
Pegasus.
Valkyrie power. Yeah,
Right.
it was just convenience.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Because
think
it
that's not
definitely
any of
wasn't
the
one of the
lore or
strange
anything.
portals. Yeah. It wasn't one of the.
No,
Yeah.
no,
That she
that
comes through.
Pegasus is a portal.
That's kind of a useful thing. I don't know if Lavelle actually heard that answer,
That
but
Pegasus is a portal. That sounds like a Flaming Lips song.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
Pegasus is a
But
portal.
yeah, I mean, just delving back quickly into Rings of Power. Yeah, I mean, we saw the beginning building construction of one of the two towers, obviously, start to happen. So
Is that
yeah,
what that is?
that's
I was
what I
just thinking
gathered it
that
was.
too. I was like, is that what's happening? Because I had no idea.
That's not where it was built.
Well, that's the thing. That you're right though. That's not where it was built. So the question is that actually one of those two towers that we see at the end of by the time we get to the Lord of the Rings?
It could be. I don't know. See,
Could
the
the
thing
land
is,
around
like,
it be totally different? And changed and
the
destroyed
thing is,
because of
we
that?
need to start exercising making content that doesn't have to attach to anything. It could just
Yeah,
stand
yeah,
alone.
yep.
Like
Exactly.
Lavelle, you sent me
Hey,
a
Kobe,
video
how's
of
it going?
people. Colby Ray's here. So a former alumni of your alma mater are here. Ray and her husband. Anyways, what was I saying? Loki sent me a video of what's her name? Is that one YouTuber complaining that like she saw a sneak peek of Andor, and there's a lack of.
Everything Middle Earth here. Hang on, is this Chad? I've seen better storylines on Pornhub. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. I mean,
So
fair
yeah,
enough. They're definitely
fair enough.
not telling their story. They're just kind of starting a bunch of
Right.
stories, and then
Yeah.
in a porn it would cut to the sex. In this,
Yeah.
it just cuts to more people talking about a different storyline.
Someone's digging through a lot of Pornhub to find storylines.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, what I was saying.
Sorry, Jason. Yes. We interrupted.
And this
Jason's
is
got a
relevant. I
whole-
swear. This is relevant. I swear.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Yeah, go for it.
You've had
Well,
before.
so like there was that complaint about, I guess, Andor lacking Easter eggs.
Okay.
I think a lot of people are complaining about that.
The series?
Yeah, there's like when people don't
Who's
see
complaining?
Easter eggs, they
All
get
right.
they get
Oh,
upset.
gotcha. Okay.
But like the first Star Wars didn't have any Easter eggs reference to anything.
And
It-
the movies are Easter eggs. When you're in that world, like everything should relate
Yeah.
to something. So like,
Exactly.
yeah,
What
but
do you
when you
call
have
an
a
Easter
first
egg?
Star Wars, what are you
People
referencing
want, like,
to?
they want like deep
They want
dive
There's
Easter
clear
nothing
eggs,
to
like-
reference to in the
Yeah.
first Star Wars except for what the hero's journey, if there's any Easter eggs at all.
Yeah.
But that's just the Easter egg to literature. But when
Yeah.
you don't have an established universe, there's no Easter eggs to have,
Right.
right? Like in the
Well, I
first
also
Star
think,
Wars,
you know,
what kind
it
of
comes-
Easter eggs do you have?
I think it also comes down to like what they're doing with it, and I think a lot of Easter eggs come down to how the project gets made. Like, is it just
Yeah.
Mark Hamill throwing something in because they love what they're doing and they're a fan of it? And they're throwing something in to have fun, or is it something
Right.
the director wanted to tease something? And there's not much to tease considering we know Andor's story.
Right.
Easter
So-
eggs traditionally have no effect on the story.
Yeah, it's true.
Well,
Like the term Easter egg
Yeah,
comes
but-
from the
but
game
Eas-
designer who
Yeah.
placed
Yeah,
the
but
writing in
you
an
could-
Atari game.
yeah. But
so
you could.
so traditionally it just doesn't have to contribute anything to the story, and we could take it or leave it. You don't need
Right.
it; it's not necessary.
I haven't been reading as much about that. I mean, I was going to go into Andor a bit later on, but I mean, there's only been a handful of people that have really watched it. There is the first 4 episodes have been handed out to critics and stuff like that, so they've been able to watch the first 4 episodes, and then they did drop the first 3 episodes at the premiere screening this week at the El Capitan in Hollywood.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, that's cool. But yeah, we'll go into that a little bit later. Let's just continue on, just finishing up on Middle Earth here. I don't know. I mean, out of all the shows on TV for me right now, this is the slowest moving pace one. So it's a bit of a struggle I'm finding just to kind of sit through it. on a
It's
week to
funny.
week basis.
I like this week I missed so much stuff because of work, and when I
Yeah.
finally sat down to pick something to watch, the
Yeah.
first thing I picked wasn't any of it. I picked Harley Quinn because that's been I think the
Oh,
best
really?
show on TV right now. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I dove into first.
What season are they into right now?
3.
Okay. And
It's
how many
good.
episodes in roughly are we?
Nine. There are 9 episodes in the season.
Okay.
I think it might be the best season. It's
Right.
great. The show keeps getting better.
Yeah.
They kind of lost Kite Man as a main character this season, but it still retains
Right. Gotcha.
everything.
I just realized I could mute Jason's mic. I was like, yeah, because the background was getting
Oh,
too loud.
that.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, okay, yeah. That's cool. Sorry, continue on.
Yeah, this season they
Harley
brought in
Quinn.
the Bat family for the first time, which is fun.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
They do a lot more stuff with Batman this season, and
Okay.
it's all
What
about
time?
what
what
type
time-
of Batman.
No, what time period to the Batman? Is it like with the Batman with Robin and?
Oh, he's got a full Bat family.
The full
He's got,
Bat family.
He's got
Okay.
Damian. He's got
Gotcha.
Dick
Okay.
as Nightwing.
Right.
Barbara's in the show.
Just
Okay.
as many Bat people they can cram into it. Like, is Batmite in there? Is like all those like
Batmite's not in there yet, but
Okay.
I would not be
Yeah,
surprised if a Harley Mite shows up sometime because that would just be
What?
the
That would
icing
be
on the
funny.
cake.
All right. What is there? Is there a Might universe or something like that they all exist? As
Okay,
mites?
so it actually it is revealed that there's going to be a Night Mite. Nightwing's getting his own Batmite
Okay. All right.
next month, and
Okay.
no one knows much about it. Could be a delusion, but there could be a Mite universe.
Okay. All right. Fair
Well,
enough.
it seems like there would be. There's a Bizarro universe, so
Yeah.
Well, there was a Mite planet, but that was pre-crisis.
Right.
Now it's just a delusion.
Fair enough. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I feel like you can move on from Lord of the Rings at this point. It just, I mean, as I said, I'm enjoying it. I think it's very pretty. I think it's very beautiful.
It looks
But
great, yeah.
I don't know if this is the kind of show that I could easily binge watch either at the same time because
Well,
if
they're
you
also
try to,
hour-long episodes.
They're
where
very
they're
long.
Just talking about plots that don't end in the
Yeah.
episode, and I think the thing about a TV show is
Yeah.
it doesn't need to be serialized, but you need
Yeah.
to have a good structure to your start and the end
and
of the
pacing to
episode.
it too. Yes, yeah. And that was the thing that was funny about season 4 of Stranger Things. There was like those episodes were like an hour and 15 minutes long, and
The
I got
last
to a
episode
point.
was like 3 hours or something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, but
I was
just
sitting
the
there, like, I'm watching
average.
a movie on a TV,
Yeah.
and they're like, "No, it's an episode now."
Yeah. No, that was the thing with Stranger Things for me with season 4. They could have cut 10, 15 minutes out of each episode to pace it much better off. And it felt like it was dragging in season 4 for me of Stranger Things, but that was just
That's what
how I
happens
felt.
when you give someone like an unlimited budget and you tell the
Yeah.
writers write as much as you want.
Right, yeah.
You don't need to hold anything back. Unlimited lengths for scripts because
Yeah.
there was no.
Then
there
make
clearly
more
was, like,
episodes. Break
I
it down
think
and
that
make
happens
shorter
in later-
episodes and more episodes.
I think
Yeah.
that happens in later episodes of seasons. Whatever they put more money into Breaking Bad on
Yeah.
the season as an example or whatever.
Oh yeah.
But the further they go, the more they draw, more money they put into, the more they drag it out,
Yeah.
and it's just that's where that's why like on the season 2 of like pretty
Right.
much every series I've watched,
Yeah.
it's kind of like that's about as far as they're gonna get for me.
Yeah.
Like season
Yeah.
2, because everything then they have to drag it out too much unless
add
it's
so
something
much
that
stuff,
like is
yeah.
gonna change every season and like go to a new storyline. But
Right.
I don't know. That's usually why I get burnt out on series.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I
I
feel
understand that. Yeah, totally. Yeah. So yeah, other stuff that dropped during the week. There was this little piece, which
Oh my God.
Constantine sequel in the works with Keanu Reeves.
I just love that we can call this one Constantine and not Constantine because it's established
Constantine.
that his name is Constantine in this
Yeah.
universe.
Okay. Oh yeah, it is too. Yeah, that's probably why we're so familiar.
Did
I don't know.
Did you get any clips? We didn't talk about it. The new Spielberg movie that I'm going
Oh,
blank on the name. But
I
do you have
did-
any
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of that either.
photos? I know
Uh,
it's like it's not the Spielbergs, but it's like the
Yeah.
something, the last names of whatever. But and that kind of came out real quietly. Like
Yeah,
I saw the trailer. I'm like, I messaged Brent. I'm like, did you see this trailer? And he's like, oh yeah. And like I don't hear anybody talking about it, but it looks great.
Yeah.
And it's a Steven Spielberg movie about like his life. I mean,
Yeah. The Fablemans. It's called.
Fablemans, yeah.
Yes.
Fableman.
Paul Dano as playing his father, like,
Yeah.
and Seth Rogen, not Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen? Yeah, Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
He's in it, which is really cool. Because I
Yeah.
remember him telling a story about he got high or he was like, smoking weed in front of at a party, and like Spielberg walked by and he totally smelled like pot. He's like, "Oh, I'm never going to be in a Spielberg movie."
That's funny. Yeah,
Oh, really?
I heard him tell that story.
Yeah,
that's
he had a
funny.
story about like blowing smoke accidentally in Spielberg's face
Yeah, at
by like
Spielberg's
at a
face.
party.
Yeah,
And he's like, "Oh, it's Spielberg," and he's like, "Oh, I'm never gonna get in a Spielberg movie." And now he's like, in a Spielberg.
Well, I mean, considering the fact that Harrison Ford was a pot smoker all the way through Indiana Jones, and I think
That's
Spielberg's
true.
used to
That's true.
to that.
Yeah,
So yeah,
Now he just gets high in airplanes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Different
That's
kind of come
Harrison
down.
I'll be in my
Jason's
trailer smoking weed.
Jason's disappeared. I think the family's kept involved. We'll bring him back and we'll get his opinions on Constantine.
His mic is
too,
still
for
here
sure.
though.
His mic is still there. Yeah, I know. That's okay. I'll be able to see easy when he comes
If the
back.
skateboard could talk, we would.
That's
be
it. Yeah, that's it. But yeah, the actually let me let's pull up the trailer anyway.
For which one?
The Spielberg.
Oh,
Did
the
you-
Fablemans.
Yeah, the
I
Fablemans.
haven't,
Did
seen,
you-
I haven't seen the trailer. I just heard about it.
Oh, really?
There's so
Okay.
little
Looks
marketing
great.
for this movie.
Yeah, it's been-
I think they're doing it quietly, and does it get released this year, like in December or something like that? Soon, right?
Yeah, something like that. As I said, it came across pretty quietly.
Can you play it with a little bit of sound so Max can hear it?
Yeah.
We'll talk over it so
Yeah,
they
for
don't
sure.
hear it. Amblin Entertainment.
Yep, emblem.
That's cool.
But basically, this is like
Him as a
It's-
child growing up in
Yeah.
Arizona, like getting
Yeah.
into film and learning what it is, and
no,
That's
totally,
awesome.
yeah. It just it's such a Spielberg style of movie. But it's about himself almost, without it being him directly. But about a kid wanting to be a filmmaker kind of thing, and
I mean, it's all the same thing. His mom's a
Yeah.
pianist, and his dad, it's all the
Yes,
same.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
his life.
yeah.
Change how everything looks. It's hard to find our house.
Surprised like this isn't like everywhere. I haven't seen like a billboard for it.
I
No.
know. They'll
No.
probably like just
In this family,
Get
Yeah.
the
noticed.
scientists versus the artists.
Totally.
Sammy's on my team, takes after me.
Just, I mean, heck, Spielberg films were what inspired me as a child, and George Lucas movies, so like all of us, I think,
Yeah.
to want to work in film and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Oh, so Logan is in it.
what's that? Yeah,
You dismiss what he does. It's playful or imaginative.
but it's
Could
yeah.
afford to be a little encouraging.
It looks very inspiring. It looks like a
Yeah,
It looks
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Piano player.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
in her heart. Is
Sorry,
what you
blanking on his
got.
name.
Yeah.
Just loves
Is that Judd Hirsch?
Yeah, Judd Hirsch. There you
Judd
go.
Hirsch. Yeah.
I love Judd Hirsch.
He's awesome. Yeah,
Stop calling it a hobby.
I haven't seen him in a while either, so it's kind of nice to see him.
right.
He was in Uncut
Yeah.
Gems.
a monkey.
Because I need
Oh,
to laugh.
okay, that's right.
What was it?
For like a second, for like a quick
That's right.
second.
Right.
You always have to be the center of attention.
Stop shouting at her! That has been nothing but
But-
disrespect from you.
And this is also scored by John Williams too.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, this is the last one.
Yeah, this is the last one. That,
Okay.
well,
That's
outside of
good.
Indiana Jones. Yeah,
Don't break your mother's heart.
but I think he scored this before he
Oh,
finished
I got it.
Indiana
So this is going
Jones.
to come out
You do
before
what your
Indy, and then
heart says
Indy
you
will
have
be his
to.
last one.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. That's right.
Looks great.
No, it really does. Just it looks powerful. It looks good. Yeah.
What was your favorite part?
Yeah.
Written by
It's written by
so
Spielberg, too,
one of
so,
the
yeah.
few movies that he wrote.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's
That looks awesome.
it really does. Yeah, I can't wait to check that one out. But I think it was December it comes out. So
It sounds like it would be just, like it sounds like a Christmas. Feels like a Christmas release.
yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Christmas Passover, yeah, for sure. But yeah, I mean that's
Did anyone out
definitely
there
a good
see
one.
Clerks 3 yet?
I
haven't
haven't
had the
seen it yet.
chance. Mm.
I think I missed it.
No. They extended it. You have until the 22nd.
Oh really?
Fathom.
Yeah,
it's on Fathom
I saw
Events.
I saw it online. around like North Hollywood too. They're playing till the
Okay, because I
22nd.
wanted to
Okay.
go, and it's only at 7, and I have to put my
Right.
dog in
That's the
daycare
thing.
Oh,
for the
yeah,
night, and
yeah.
it's like I have to pay. It's like $60 to keep her in
Mm.
overnight. So
Yeah.
it's like I was going to
Yeah.
go one of the days I was working, but
Mm.
I think I might just have to wait. I know it's coming. They're doing the road show.
October,
I think
early October,
3rd,
right?
Yeah, October 3rd or 5th or something out here. and then it'll be on DVD. Oh, it'll be available digitally like soon enough.
Right.
So
Yeah, the reboot was on Prime pretty fast. The Jane Silent
yeah,
Bob reboot.
yeah, and I'm
I'm
sure
going
this will
tonight to
be
see
on.
it.
Yeah.
I like tickets are expensive though, like $20 tickets because
Yeah.
it's a special event.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I want to go see it. I would love
Yeah.
to go just to put my money in or whatever. But I'll
Yeah.
If it's $20, I'll just buy the DVD when it comes out.
That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking too. I was thinking like
Because it's
That's
like
it.
if it's $20 to see it now, like the
Yeah.
DVD is gonna have the behind the commentary and all the stuff on it. So I might as
Right.
well just
Yeah.
add it
Yeah.
to my collection of stuff.
It's funny. I was doing the same thing while buying the tickets because the theater was completely empty too. It was only one
yeah.
showing too.
Really?
But yeah, I was like, I bet everyone's looking at this price. It's just thinking,
Uh-huh.
it's gonna be on demand in a month.
Max, did you get that new Kevin Smith book on? It's some.
No, I forget what it's called.
Yeah, I know. I'm going blank on the name.
Masquerade.
Masquerade. Yeah.
No, I didn't pick
wanted
it up
to
yet.
At least pick up a copy of like the first issue at least. I think it's on Boom Comics or
I can't remember. I think it was Dark. Yeah, I think it was Dark Horse. It looks good though. It looks cool.
Yeah.
I haven't picked it up. There was that, and Patton Oswalt just released a pretty cool book, Minor Threats, which I haven't.
What is it called?
Minor Threats.
Minor Threats.
Yeah, the punk band Minor Threat.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Okay.
Is that and they're using the same font for it or whatever? Like, is it?
No, not the same font.
A play
no,
on that?
I think it's a play on it. It's about a bunch of supervillains.
Huh.
I think it's just a play. He used Minor Threats because it's just a play on the word. Like low time, small time.
I like that though.
Right.
That makes me want to go get it like right now. I'm like, okay, Minor Threats.
He's doing a signing too early October at Golden Apple Comics.
Right.
Let me know.
Yeah. I'll send you the info.
Hey guys, sorry.
Hey,
That's all right.
he's back now.
We missed the Constantine talk.
Yeah.
No, the
all right.
Keanu Cousins is my favorite movie.
Well,
We watched the Fablemans trailer.
We watched the Fablemans trailer, which is the new Spielberg trailer. But yeah, tell us your thoughts on Constantine's sequel in the works with Keanu.
I mean, if you understand Jason Lore, you understand that he really likes that movie.
Okay.
And it's a really good movie. I don't know if you guys watched it again recently, but
not
it holds
recently.
up.
I saw it originally,
It's
but
streaming, I think, everywhere.
Yeah, HBO Max has it.
HBO
for
Max,
sure.
okay, that's where
I just had Liz watch it for the first time. She never
yeah.
watched it before. I really like it. I like how I feel the same way about it as I did with like Men in Black, the first one.
All right.
How it's kind of like
I like
grounded,
Right.
and like this stuff is like could
It
be
works.
happening around us.
Yeah.
You know, we have angels and demons all around
Right.
us.
Yeah.
And Tilda Swinton as an angel is some of the best casting I've ever seen.
And
Yeah.
Peter
My
Stormare
life.
as the devil.
And one of the best Lucifer devils
Stormer.
ever.
He was great in that movie.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm a huge fan of it. It was one of the best like comic book movies that came out around that time.
Right.
What was that like? Right before V for Vendetta and
90s,
Doom
yeah.
and all that.
Yeah.
No, it was like early. It was like
Was it early 2000s?
early 2000s.
Oh, I
yeah.
thought it was the late
2001.
It
90s.
was like
Wow.
2005.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah, like 2004, 2005.
Really?
Like that.
Yeah.
Wow, I
Yeah.
thought it was longer than that.
2001 to 2005 is like 1 year. It's really hard for me
Yeah,
to balance. Remember
yeah.
what was what.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was around that time. I
Mhm.
think it was one of the best movies that came out around that time. Cause what was it? The Matrix trilogy just wrapped up,
Right.
and it was like Keanu Reeves' like first thing after Matrix
Yeah. Yeah.
that he did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm stoked about that. I was like, oh, I'm
Mm.
so happy they're doing a new one.
He's continually keeping busy. I mean, he's got.
This is the project he said he wanted to do, though, and asked about, like, someone asked him, like, in an interview, what do you want to work on next? He said, I would love to do Constantine again.
Constantine, yeah.
The phone rings immediately while I was in the interview.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Like, you want to
He's
do it?
like, we have nothing going on.
Yeah.
Please save us.
Constantine.
I wanted to see more of that universe too. It's
Yeah.
like you had Papa Midnight, like
Yeah.
he
Yeah,
was
yeah.
dope. You had Gavin Rossdale from Bush as like one of
yeah.
the demons.
Was Constantine Sony or WB?
It had to be Warner Brothers. It's a DC
It was,
guy.
of course, yes, yeah.
Yeah, it was
Right,
Warner
yeah.
Brothers.
I could never
It was a standalone, so it didn't really try to. This is before
Right.
they tried to expand universes outside of
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
This wasn't even supposed to fit in anything. It wasn't even related to the comic book, even.
Yeah.
Like, not
Yeah.
even the slightest. Like,
Yeah.
it didn't
They
try to
changed
fit.
them so much.
Do we think a sequel will draw money in this day and age for
I think the
Yeah.
movie is
standalone?
very well remembered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of people really like that. I only hear positive things, except from you, Brent.
I just
of
can't.
course
I
from
just
you,
no. Honestly,
like I hear
it
mostly positive things about that movie.
no.
Well, also
I
think
just
about it,
I
like,
don't
what-
remember. It didn't stick in my mind and my memory when I saw it because I did see it in the movies and it just didn't connect with me or resonate. But I don't remember why, and I haven't seen it since. So I can't recall whether I enjoyed it because I thought it was a bad film or whether didn't enjoy it because I just wasn't in the mood for it. I mean, sometimes I'm not in the mood for something.
For
and I watch
2005
something later.
standards, it was
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
But
I'll
all-
have to go back and rewatch sometime. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
and his he had the gold brass knuckles for punching demons.
What about that
Oh,
shotgun with the
man.
cross? That
They-
was my
Kobe.
favorite.
Me and Kobe,
They're just talking about it. They haven't even officially put pen to
me and
paper yet.
Kobe have like
Kobe.
obsessed. We're obsessed with that film. I mean,
Right.
being raised,
Yeah.
me and him being raised Catholic too.
Uh-huh.
It's just like the existence of demons is just
Yeah.
so grounded,
Yeah.
and the way they come in, like that first Exorcist in the opening of the movie.
Yeah.
Oh my god, such great introductions to all characters.
Yeah.
And like the way they exercise that demon, he's just like looking through and he shines
Yeah,
something
yeah.
through the
Right.
light to shine on the demon so he knows what type of demon it is. And he's like, all right, do you guys have a big mirror? And like, no
Yeah.
questions asked. They set it up and then
Yeah.
he has a nice systematic way of dealing with a demon.
Right.
And it didn't even
That-
bug me that Shia LaBeouf was in it.
I know, yeah. They did have some good stuff that made him resemble the Constantine character enough where, like, his strategic taking down of the demons. I wish he used a little more magic, which would have been, a little cool. But
Yeah.
I did like
But
seeing
it's like how grounded it
methodical
was.
He was able to be.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then like they just be smelting gold to
And the
make
detective
special
stuff was pretty
bullets.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like a good equal amount of detective and like religious weaponry.
Yeah, that's what it was. The religious weaponry that drew
And like
everyone
when
in.
the guy comes and drops off like groceries to Constantine, you got your carton of cigarettes, and we got this thing he shakes to like
Yeah.
rile up that insect demon man.
Did you guys ever watch
good
the
shit.
Constantine series, TV series,
show?
season 1?
I don't
With
watch
Matt
much
Ryan. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
Matt Ryan.
W. I didn't really watch.
No,
much.
no,
He was
no,
a
no.
lot
It was
more.
no. Wait. It was before CW.
The
It's not
blonde
like
guy,
Austin.
right?
It was
It was
picked
more
up later.
comic.
Yeah.
It was more comic. I know who you're talking
Yeah, it
about.
was
Yeah,
more
yeah.
comic
More
related, but it was like a
accurate.
neutered. It was a very neutered Constantine.
Yeah.
Because you can't really have all the
You
real
can't
stuff
curse.
in
You
there in
can't
the show.
smoke.
Right.
They didn't
Yeah.
really. You couldn't
Yeah.
really be
That's
crass.
a big part of Constantine
couldn't
is his
be- it could-
constant
Right.
smoking.
Yeah.
Well, it was also they couldn't do a lot of any body horror stuff. They couldn't do any
Yeah.
anything really graphic or visual. So it was a lot of
Right.
it was like Constantine Ghost Hunter.
It's galactic version.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing
And then
some of those, but I just
Then they
but
watered
I didn't
him
like
down. Yeah.
His
I didn't
portrayal was great, but they just.
Oh no,
didn't
I
let him
thought
be-
Matt Smith was Matt
Matt Ryan, right?
Ryan was great. Yeah.
it. He showed up in like
He was
the
in Legends of
Arrowverse,
Tomorrow.
right?
Arrowverse, yeah, and they watered that character down even more so by the time he got to there, because he did continue into Legends of Tomorrow at that
Yeah.
point, and they had some ups and downs. It was with that character. It was.
I just think it was worth it to have him in that universe at least than to not have a Constantine at all.
Oh,
Well,
for
we
sure,
currently
no,
have a
yeah.
Constantine and Sandman too. He's a
Oh,
gender
really?
swap.
Joanna Constantine.
Constantine,
That's Constantine.
Yeah.
based on how Neil Gaiman says it.
Right.
I think it's based on how Alan Moore says it. He was like super particular about it. And he says it's like
Oh,
Clementine.
Oh, Constantine.
I mean, I always call it. Yeah, I mean,
I
this,
never
this
knew
is a
that.
reference to the emperor, right?
Yeah, I think so, right?
I mean, he brought Christianity to the Roman Empire. It's Constantine, but I always call him Constantine. But I've never heard anyone say it. And then when
Right.
the movie came out, everyone called him Constantine.
I've only heard people say Constantine. I've never heard
Yeah.
anyone say Constantine until
Yeah.
2022. Even like
Right?
people
Until
who
Neil
wrote
Gaiman
Yeah.
was
Laser
talking
Comics.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like how much Neil Gaiman's been on Twitter lately.
Oh, he's been great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him and Gail Simone have been great on Twitter.
Yeah, they've been
They-
putting people in their place. It's
Yeah,
good stuff.
yeah. There was. Did you see the comment the other day about season 2 of the Sandman, and someone goes and apologizes, says, "I'm sorry, you're not getting a season 2 of the Sandman," and he's kind of like, "Wait a minute, we're not getting a
On
yet.
Netflix.
We're not getting a season 2 yet from Netflix."
Yeah.
Which
In the
means it's
meantime.
like, give it some time. They're working other deals, kind of thing. So and yeah.
I imagine Constantine's they're probably working on. I mean, Sandman's probably working on a multi-season deal with them right now.
Possibly.
Usually,
I
what they
mean,
do with their successful shows after a season is they'll try and work
Yeah.
on a multi-year deal, try and get
Yeah.
as much out of it as
Yeah.
possible.
no, for sure. Yeah. What other thing? Oh yeah, this was something else that dropped this past week. Blade Runner limited series
Oh, yeah.
to Amazon.
I'm excited
with
about that
Ridley
one.
Scott,
Amazon.
executive producer.
This is the perfect
Yeah.
time for that, with
Yeah.
the cyberpunk resurgence and all the
Right.
whole idea of that whole neo noir
Yeah.
kind of resurging in general. Just it's gonna be
It's my
great.
favorite, one of my
Yeah.
favorite genres.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Vis-
it's not that expensive to do the way he does it compared to like a lot of other shows coming out, like fantasy shows.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, I'm surprised it hasn't happened earlier. Actually,
Yeah.
I didn't see the second season, but Altered Carbon was some good cyberpunk.
the first season of that show was great.
Yeah.
I never watched the second. I just forgot.
I didn't see the
to,
second one. I forgot to also. It has
Yeah.
Anthony Mackie,
I know.
Yeah.
but I just didn't. I like the whole premise of that. It's like
But-
it's one of the best cyberpunk we've gotten recently. I feel like.
Yeah, that was great cyberpunk stuff.
I mean,
Yeah.
I can't recall the specifics on how many replicants were kind of out there and stuff like that, but I guess they could create new replicants and go on a series like long.
I don't even need a story of
Story, yeah.
replicants for
Yeah.
a Blade Runner series.
Yeah, that's
I
just
think
one thing in
This
that
is- yeah.
universe. You
Mm.
know,
Right.
Like it makes sense for them to focus on that in both movies, but
Yeah.
they probably going to because that is Blade Runner tradition.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
always focus around the nexus. It would be so. This is going to be after everything that we've seen so far. I guess 2099
I
or
don't know. I mean, it's just literally this is the
I
first
wouldn't
I've
be
seen
surprised
of
if
it.
they did a prequel.
well, it's I'm basing
2099. It blew
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
So I'm basing this. I mean, the last one was 2049.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, so it's 50 years later. Yeah.
So it's going to be like after
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling's
Gotcha.
Blade Runner, which I
Interesting.
loved. That one's
That
so
was
good. How many times you guys watched that one?
I think I watched it 3 times.
Do you like that one, Elijah?
once.
I feel like you'd like
Once.
that one.
I saw it twice. I do need to watch them again because Blade Runner, the first one, never really grabbed me. It was one of those movies I was watched in parts, and like when I did want to sit down and watch it, there's so many different versions of it. Like
Yeah.
it just got
Yeah.
confusing. I was in that,
Just
I
watch
was
the one
growing-
without the narration.
Yeah. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
At my age, your age, when we were growing up, like they changed that movie quite a few times, like
Yeah.
fairly made it fairly different with narration, none without it, not like little changes, but like big changes. So that was kind of threw me off. But I love the new movie, and I think the series will be cool. I love
It's
the look
more
of
of
it.
I like Blade Runner just more for the world that they build.
Yeah, the world
like
and
the
the look
movie.
and the style of it is
The movie itself is weird.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like the
I find it
first one?
still very slow. Both
It's
films are very
weird.
slow for me.
It's a weird
Visually,
movie.
though, oh my god, the visuals of that and those
It's a
films
very
are
vibey
fantastic.
movie that wants you to just kind of live in it for a while and
Yeah,
get in that universe, which
Yeah.
I can always appreciate those movies.
That's
kind of
why.
sit down to
That's
watch.
why.
The
Yeah, that's
story's
why I
just
bring it up with
inherently better.
Elijah. You tend to like the more nuanced, like
Yeah, and
atmospheric stuff.
Another thing, I didn't see either of those in the theater, and I think if I ever
Really?
got the chance to see Blade Runner in the theater, like the first one, I
That would
think
be
I would
cool.
enjoy it way more
Yeah,
I
for
never
sure.
got to see that
because
one
it's more
either.
encompassing, and you can't you can't go to the refrigerator and look for something.
But
It's
that's
like,
what that
you
was
gotta
what
have to
was
sit
so
there and watch it.
that was what's just so huge about Blade Runner when it first came out was just how
I-
immersive it
Oh, yeah.
was.
I'm sure it was. I'm just saying
And
I don't
there was
think
a
I've
lot
had
of
the
Yeah.
experience of seeing that one in the theater.
yeah. And there was a lot of like what Max says. It's just it wants you to soak in that
Yeah.
world, hence the pacing, and you're
Right.
kind of just like. When you're used to movies just jumping from one thing to another,
Mhm.
you kind of just sit there in the alley. They kind of just let
Yes.
you sit there
Yeah.
and you see people move. You see the world breathing and living.
Yeah.
And that's what's so
Yeah.
nice about Blade Runner. It makes it different from
Man.
a lot of other things.
It is
It
very.
also informed like other kind of cyberpunk aesthetic of just being kind of slower and like having someone just sit and eat food in a stall and just kind of vibing.
Well,
with them for
they're
a second while
basing
they
on the
live there.
pacing of a noir film,
Yeah,
Those run really long.
It's
and
a
really,
neo-noir,
stretched
but,
out.
like,
yeah.
The
at
slow
heart,
moving
but-
doesn't bother me at all. Like,
But
I
it's
I enjoy that.
but it set the standard for what cyberpunk is. I mean,
Yeah.
that is it. Outside of what's his name? William Gibson's Neuromancer. Like Blade Runner is the quintessential cyberpunk genre.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's also interesting. It's like that's the visuals are so expansive and huge, but you get to the street level, it's very claustrophobic and very condensed. Which is also part of its
It's like a
visual
reflection.
charm, I
That's what
guess.
the good sci-fi is always a reflection of our
Yeah.
current world.
Oh yeah.
You know what? I got to fulfill my dream
Oh yeah.
of living in downtown LA during the year that Blade Runner came out. I think I was
49. Yeah.
no,
With the
The
original. Oh yes,
the
yeah.
original
2000
Yes.
like
14.
yeah, it's like no, it was like 2019.
19.
Okay.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
was this huge party they threw, and it was a cyberpunk party on
Oh,
that
really?
day
That's
No way.
cool.
in downtown LA.
That's
And
cool.
they filmed a lot of that in downtown LA. What was it the Third Street
The Bradbury
tunnel
Building
and
and
the Bradbury Building? I used to
Yeah.
like, walk by that all the time.
Yeah.
Like I got to be there the year it took place. So I'm like
That's funny.
really stoked about that.
That's
It's like
cool.
being
Shout
on
out to Harrison Ford.
that was like me for 2015 Back to the Future. I was like,
yeah.
I synchronized my watch and everything exactly right now.
Oh man, I was in
It's
New
funny.
York during that on that day. Sucks.
Oh yeah.
Didn't get to experience it from
Yeah.
Burbank because there's a whole event, right? They had like people touring the.
Oh, they did
Sure.
everything all over there was
They
a
did.
bunch of different ones
Yeah.
on that Back to the Future thing. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like we've been living through all of that stuff. We lived through that. We lived through Skynet hitting.
Yes.
That was
Yes.
2015.
That didn't happen. Damn
Spoilers,
it.
it's called Predator.
Predator Part 2,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
all those other
Yeah.
future movies. The Running
Yeah.
Man, that was like
Have-
19.
Oh, yeah.
Have
when
you
was
guys
that?
seen the?
Yeah, that's good,
Have,
yeah.
have you guys seen the list all the way through into the next into the 25th century of everything of all the movie historical events that are that take
Oh,
place?
like timeline for
Yeah,
new
yeah.
movies? Do you have that? Somewhere?
Yeah, no, I don't know if I don't have it
maybe you
here,
can find
but
I know what you're talking about. That's
yeah, I saw
future
it recently.
like Alien. Still, we haven't hit
Yes.
Alien time yet.
Yeah,
These
yeah.
other future things we haven't hit.
But they do spread out as they get longer into the 25th century. So it's I think it goes through Starfleet.
We're not
and
gonna
this
make
and
some
all
of
that
them.
from these yeah, we're probably not going to make some of them. No, absolutely not. But it's still kind of fascinating. Fascinating, yeah. Hey,
What up,
Gambit,
Gambit?
how's it going?
Hey.
And Andor hype. Yeah, we haven't gotten to Andor yet. We'll talk about that soon enough. The other thing that dropped this week, it sounds like rumor has it that season 2 of Ms. Marvel's going to move forward. It seemed pretty natural. It just seemed like there was.
I think if anyone
continuation
can lean their
the
network
character.
for like a good solid yearly show,
Yeah.
she's the person to do it. I think they
Yeah.
should probably give her more episodes. I think
Yeah.
give Ms. Marvel a good 16 episode season.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it'll be I'm much more hyped now for the Marvels than I was before, and it just the enthusiasm from when they were at D23.
Oh yeah. You
The
can tell they really
three cast-
enjoy working
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, no, totally. So I'm more hyped for that, and
I'll say it is refreshing having what's her name, Iman Vellani, actually being excited at a press junket and not
God, I was
just
laughing my ass off.
miserable.
Yeah,
I don't know. Over the years, Disney always tries to
I
push
mean,
all
it's a
this
bit-
press stuff, and you always see
Yeah.
people just giving the same stale answers, and she's just excited to be there. And
oh,
that's,
she was
you know,
geeking out.
what
She's
better
a
to
pure
watch.
geek, that kid. I
It's
swear.
a huge contrast from Brie Larson's reactions to interviews.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's still gonna be a little odd. That was a weird set of reactions from Brie Larson, though, and
oh, what she said about the fans. I mean,
Do
she
they
got
want
a
you back?
lot of hate.
yeah,
She said the fans
she
don't
has.
want her
She,
back.
yeah.
I mean,
I
it is-
personally thought she was fine as that character. She
but
did
she
not
did get a
bother.
lot of hate, and it's not her fault. It's the
no.
writer's fault. They wrote
Yeah.
They wrote Captain Marvel to be just
Right.
the Giga Chad of the universe, who just flies in, does
Yeah.
one thing, and leaves, and then
Giga
shows
Chad
up for
for
just cool
sure.
moments.
That's exactly what she Giga Chad.
That's
Yeah.
all she's done.
No,
Ms.
totally,
Marvel's a
exactly,
Giga
yeah.
Chad for
Yeah.
sure.
They,
Oh,
they
I mean-
wrote it kind of unlikable. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the hype behind Miss Marvel coming back is good. I mean, I'm glad that's moving
Yeah.
forward. And then kind of I guess we jump into a bit of Star Wars news. Let's actually we're on the Marvel track. Let's talk about She-Hulk for a bit.
Anchorman said he's ready to hop on the stream if you want.
Oh, okay, all right. We'll pull you in at the end there, Anchorman. I'll ask you. Yeah, I want to ask about him. I want to pull him in at the end there and find out about his meeting with he met up with actor John Wesley Shipp
Oh, yeah.
for something.
Oh yeah, the
A
Flash.
couple of weeks ago, The Flash. Yeah,
OG
so
Flash.
we'll talk about that a bit later. We'll bring you in then, okay? So give us about like half an hour there, man. So yeah, sorry. She-Hulk, episode 5, right? Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
We're halfway through the season. Yeah.
All right, who do you guys think will win the fight? The Drip Broker or the Power Broker?
Power broker.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
not
Power
so sure. The Drip Broker
Wait.
seemed to.
What can the drip broker do other than remind me of
make
Jaden
anything.
Smith?
He
Right.
can make anything.
Oh, he would
Yeah,
make
but
his
the-
own
but the-
suit. Like
but
a
the power
suit gotta be
broker-
like,
Power broker could
Vulnerable.
could get anything.
Right.
Well, she
right.
can get the powers, but he's straight up talking about making some Iron Man armor. Talking about, like, do you need what do you need in this armor? Do you need what kind of weaponry? He can probably build whatever you need.
Right.
All right, we need to recheck this universe because not anyone could build damn
I know,
Iron Man
it is-
armor. Come on,
Right.
only
This is the
Tony
problem.
Stark could do that. Is it like?
This is the problem when you don't have a Janet Van Dyne that actually is a Janet Van Dyne, because she's supposed to be
Right.
like, the money, the fashion designer. She makes
Yep.
most of the wardrobes for Avengers, and it's a naturalistic fit. When you have just like to create like the Drip Broker as a character to do this, it's a little out
Right.
of left field.
Yeah.
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 So
So
yeah. So what do you guys think? What? So you think the Drip Broker could beat the Power Broker?
I don't know. I thought we were talking about She-Hulk, but okay.
We are.
Well, we are talking about She-Hulk.
Okay, all right,
Kinda
okay.
We're talking
relevant,
about
right?
touch,
Right.
but-
Wait, so Dax, explain.
Okay, so he mentioned about all the stuff he could build and how it's to the highest quality.
Right.
I mean, I believe him. He was talking about what kind of weaponry you need. The Power Broker was Shannon Carter. She didn't technically have any power. She's just a pretty good spy.
Right.
I don't know. I think a one-on-one fight, he probably built something that'd mess her up pretty good.
A one-on-one fight. She's an agent, man. You saw her take out all those
She's-
people. We
she's a
see
good-
what she
she's a
could
good
do on
fighter.
the field.
Yeah.
I know, but
She
he could
keeps
probably,
up with the super soldiers.
but he could build something indestructible. He could probably
We
build
don't
something.
know that yet. Oh, he did build the. I
built
haven't
the
seen
Daredevil
enough. I haven't
suit.
seen him do enough. I just see him be like.
He's the guy. It
He
seems.
could
He's
build
the
anything.
guy.
He just has a helmet and some clothes. Like it's just
All right,
fabric.
so Pug. What confuses me is that Pug was implying that he has an established connection with the Drip Broker.
Oh yeah, that made no sense. And then he goes to meet him for the
And
first
then
time.
he goes. He's like, "I'm here to see the Drip Broker." He's never met
Yeah.
him. Is that just
I
sloppy
think he,
writing? or-
I think they used the word plug wrong. I think they meant to like. To
Yeah,
just
because that's
say,
not
like,
a plug
He's
if
got
you've
to
never
connect
met
to
them
him.
yet.
Right.
Yeah, I think they're just
Yeah.
trying to use like young people terms, and they're using.
They
them
should have
wrong.
just said like, "Oh, my homie's got a plug to the Drip Broker, so I can get.
Yeah.
He has like a number or something." But
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the way he was talking about, it was like he already bought stuff from him, and he has like
I don't
all.
know,
his
that's what
shoes
happens
from
with
him.
slang. People, try and
Yeah.
sound like youthful, try to appeal to the demographic, and they use it slightly wrong.
Whenever I
gives
see
different
people
context.
use topical slang like this, like what they're doing right now, I'm like, we're gonna look at this in 3 years, and it's not gonna hold up.
Right.
Well, it's also not going to make sense now.
It's not gonna. It's not gonna. It's like when the Hulk was dabbing 5 years later.
Yeah, no, literally.
No one
it's-
dabs anymore. It's not even that
Yeah.
far ahead. It's a slippery slope if you're gonna talk about meme culture and slang, especially
Yeah.
contemporary like youth culture is always
It's
like a
weird 'cause
problematic
She-Hulk-
thing to include in writing because it's constantly changing.
Yeah, and She-Hulk's weird. She-Hulk's really been on top of staying not super topical, but staying relevant by making jokes about like, oh, we're gonna get a lot of Twitter hate for this. It's like,
Yeah, that stuff's pretty subtle, but when you're saying like you're throwing like the Drip Broker.
And I think that was a Power Broker reference, like when they were it definitely was. They were
Right.
going over like all the meetings and
It's not
and
refers
they
to-
heard the
the
Power
only-
Broker. They just
Yeah,
couldn't
only-
draw that in.
Only this generation refers to outfits as drip.
Right.
Like I doubt you two up there don't know what drip
I think
means.
I
right?
think they're also trying to.
I mean, I know
make
it's used,
fun.
but I don't know why it's used.
Drip comes from
I know
a
it's
tap.
a term. I know it's a term, but like, I don't know where it
Well,
came from.
case in point,
Mhm.
like they gotta be careful. I mean, I guess
Yep.
It made sense in context, probably.
It did.
I guess.
It made sense, but yeah, it's when you're playing with like a slang like that, it's got to be
Right.
careful.
I think they're trying to, make Pug a little too
Yeah.
youth audience conduit, where he's like, I'm a sneakerhead, and he's trying to like use all this slang, and he's
I mean, it's
Yeah.
fine. I get it. I don't think it's like, I don't know. I
right.
get what Jason's saying. It's a bit risky if they're using.
Oh, so, all right. Gambit's got something here, guys. How often do we all rewatch the MCU? Okay, I'll go
Like
first.
all of it?
I've seen everything at least once. I've seen the movies 2 or 3 times in the theaters and at least once on Blu-ray. And all the episodes on television at least once, with the exception of yeah, Arrow,
Moon Knight, Ms.
Hawkeye,
Marvel.
which I did watch twice. Elijah, how many times have you seen stuff in the MCU?
All of it. I mean, there's
Depends
some
on
movies
what,
yeah, it depends on what
which
movie.
phase you talking about.
What phase you're talking about. I've seen
Fair
them
enough.
all. Obviously, I've seen them all in the theater. I've
Mhm.
seen I've watched them all. Like
Yep.
rewatched them all. There's ones I definitely watched way more. I've
Mhm.
probably watched Iron Man the most.
Right.
And then the Avenger movies. Some
Yeah.
of those I've watched quite a few times.
Yeah. And other ones not as many.
Yeah, some of
Yeah.
there's not much. I don't
Mhm.
own them or whatever.
Right.
Sometimes you watch one over and over and over and over again, then you get sick with it and you start another one.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, but that's just normal for me. I'll find
Yeah.
one movie I like and rewatch it a bunch
Yeah.
of times.
Max, what about yourself?
Yeah, I probably, I've only ever done like a binge watch of all of them where I've just, took a month or so to just sit down
Gotcha.
and just watch all of that. Done that once. I
Yeah.
did that over COVID. But
Yeah.
besides that, I've seen everything at least once.
Okay.
I've probably seen like, the better movies, a lot of the Avengers movies, probably like,
Mhm.
a handful of more times than other movies.
Right.
Certain movies like Iron Man 2, I don't watch that
Mhm.
much. Iron Man 3, I actually don't watch that much either.
Yep.
Yeah, probably seen the most of Captain
Yep.
America movies, but I actually definitely rewatch the X-Men movies more for some
Okay.
reason.
All right.
Ah,
Yeah.
And then
which
Jason,
X-Men of all of them do you watch the most?
how many times has Jason rewatched
Hold on.
everything?
I would like to know the X-Men.
Probably
Yeah.
2.
Oh, yeah.
X-Men
Oh, yeah?
2.
That's
Yeah.
a good one.
So that's
Uh-huh.
such a good one. That's such
Yeah.
a good one.
Yeah, X-Men 2 was good. Yeah.
Apocalypse, I think, is underrated, not in terms of performance, plot, or anything.
I like
just for the fact
Apocalypse.
that
it's
Psylocke's
okay.
in there, and that one scene where Angel
then-
turns into Archangel and they play the Four Horsemen by Metallica. That was just the best. That for me was just so
Yeah, I
fitting.
don't understand why people hate it. So I really like Apocalypse.
Well, because they had
It was
characters like,
fine.
Psylocke, who's already getting, like, at that time, people started to be like, oh, she's kind of, maybe problematic for being,
Mhm.
a British white girl trapped in the body of a Japanese, assassin.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, they gave her no lines. So they kind of did her dirty on top of that. So they didn't even let her really be a character or explain who she was because it would have
But
taken.
then that's in
Mhm.
X-Men tradition of just showing
Yeah.
them and that's it. Like a
Yeah.
Jubilee.
To see
But
that,
they,
yeah.
but they had
I like
Olivia Munn playing her. That was the difference. They had
Well, it's, at least had
they
some
did a
good
lot
action
of promo.
sequences. So that was a step up from a Jubilee representation,
Jubilee just drove off like,
Some
we're going
girl
to the
sitting in
mall,
class with
guys.
a yellow jacket on.
She's like
Which,
twice.
to be fair, is the most
Twice.
Jubilee thing ever. Like,
The
she
yellow
does deserve
jacket.
to just be at the mall in one of the movies, but,
She's from Beverly Hills. Of course. How many times I watched the Marvel universe? Let's just say that I'd probably be able to know all the lines from the first 3 phases of all the movies. Like if
Wow.
you were to put it on, I'd probably be able to
Feel
know what
excited.
all the dialogue is.
well, third
my
of them are
watching-
memes.
But my watching habits are unprecedented. I put them on and then I'll just like work on stuff. And
He'll just let them run, and
kind
he'll
of
just like day and night. They just keep going at Jason's house. That's all he's gonna listen to.
Here. Yeah, all of those I probably countless times. I don't know how many times I watched Winter Soldier or Civil
Oh, yeah.
War.
Right.
Civil War, like the first half of Civil War, I put it on before I go to sleep.
Yeah.
I memorize every line in the first half of Civil War. They're so good. This is what I've been waiting for ever since I was a kid. I used to look up.
Jason's got his priorities.
I used to read my Marvel comics
Mhm.
and just waiting for these things to be movies, especially Thor.
Right.
Yeah, Thor would have been like, I feel like that, and it's like, especially like people in the 70s, I thought would have really loved a Thor movie at the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I own
It
all
would
of
have been
them.
terrible if it was made in the 70s.
It would have been awful, but it's like
Yeah.
that was the kind of movie that would have been perfect for that era. It had everything. It had space. It had like the sword and sorcery aspect. It had,
That would
it would just
I
look
think
like-
in the 70s version that was really bad on purpose.
It would have just looked like Logan's Run.
Yeah.
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 But
I was
yeah,
doing low budget Conan.
Gambit, to answer your question, I own them all up until Disney Plus started, and then I've just been watching them on there. Honestly,
It's pretty hard to justify
Blu-ray,
buying them when you pay for Disney Plus every
my
month.
Yeah,
Blu-ray
I agree.
player's not even connected to my TV. Like the last time I connected my Blu-ray player, our internet was out for like a few hours, so we put in Dune. But yeah, I just first 3 phases, man, countless times. I won't be able to tell you, but I watch them a lot.
Yep. And yeah. So yeah. Overall thoughts on episode
But
5 of
we-
Miss Marvel?
I am
No,
of,
sorry,
of,
of She-Hulk.
I am of a breed which
Right.
Elijah shares as well, and we are rewatchers. We rewatch the hell out of certain things.
Yep.
That's
Like,
my
how
MO.
many
I'm gonna
times,
rewatch
man?
it.
It's like it's crazy how many times you've watched.
For me, it's Star Wars. Yeah.
I was the same
Continue.
with Star Wars too. I could probably recite the original trilogy.
Oh, I'm talking about like the series, like Clone Wars and this and that. Actually, I've only really rewatched Mandalorian several times over. I need to go back and rewatch Book of Boba Fett, and I've still only have seen Kenobi once all the way through.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, man, I've rewatched all. Well, I watch it with you guys, and I watch it with Liz.
Right.
Ah.
So
Yeah.
that's already
Yeah, double
2.
dip.
That's already
Nice.
2. Yeah.
That's already 2 right there.
Yeah.
On top of if I just replay one
Right.
or
Yeah.
something. But it's perfect to put on. Marvel movies are perfect to work to, in my opinion, because it could just be on. I already know it, and then
If you're hearing it and
you
you know
pick
what's
a
going
background,
on, you
yeah.
can hear sound effects and you know what's going on. Like,
Yeah.
you don't get to hear anything. Like, there's movies I've watched, I don't even know how many times, and I can hear anything. I could be in the other room and hear like just what I know exactly what's scene. I could see it all in my head.
Yeah.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
if it's a
If I
scene
listen
that
to it.
comes up and I want to take a break, I could just watch. Oh, let's watch them fight Ultron.
Yeah.
Yeah, skip it up. Oh, fuck.
And then I'll after that, like, all right, cool.
Yeah. And then, yeah, so moving on, let's jump into Star Wars for a little bit. They're casting more actors in Acolyte, it seems. It seems like they're really... I'm not sure what this guy's been in before specifically, but yeah, they're making massive Acolyte announcements.
Asians.
Very... Yeah, it's a very Oriental cast, which is going to be kind of cool to see.
Asian.
Oriental.
Asian.
Well,
Oriental.
Yeah,
No,
Asian.
no, we don't use that word
No,
anymore.
okay,
Brent.
all right.
Yeah.
Oh, really? See, there you go.
That's just as
Yeah.
bad. You might as well have said Chinaman.
Asians.
Say Oriental. You only
Oh, yeah.
use that if you're describing
Well,
a rug.
Yeah.
Right,
Or,
okay.
or,
all right.
or,
okay. Well, whatever. We're getting a very vast arrangement of characters coming from this. So I'm more curious as to see what this series is going to be about as along the way kind of thing. So I'm excited for Acolyte.
yeah, it looks good.
Yeah. And then we've got this kind of like Rogue One has now been removed from the Disney Plus calendar overall. They're saying that the next Star Wars movie may not be till 2025 at this point, which kind of makes sense.
That's what I was asking, right? I was like, when are we gonna see like the the mainline Star Wars?
Yeah.
Like, when's the next one of those?
Well,
That's not even that. That's just a side story.
Yeah,
That's
that's
a
a
side
side story.
movie.
Yeah.
But are they ever going to tackle like the original storyline again?
And what would be the
They-
original storyline now? I mean, they'd
Yeah.
have to either go before or after,
Yeah. Well, I
yeah,
mean,
but I mean that one was all Skywalker.
or in
So all the
between. Like,
Skywalkers
that would be
Yeah.
weird.
It's all
Yeah.
It was mostly Skywalker saga. That's what those
Yeah.
were all built around. And
Yeah.
since they're all kind of officially dead
but
for like
see,
Rey, it's just she's claiming to be a
Yeah.
Skywalker. So
Yeah.
She ain't
But
she's,
here's the thing: something like Rogue Squadron. Sorry.
of course she would lie. She's a Palpatine.
Yeah. But if you took a show like Rogue Squadron, you picked a movie that happened to be very popular the year that this movie could have come out, say like a Maverick type movie, and do that but in Star Wars universe and call it
That
Rogue
was her
Squadron.
announcement. That was her
I mean-
entire announcement of what she
Yeah.
was going to do with Rogue Squadron,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
was exciting at the time. And then
Yeah.
Wonder Woman 83 came out. And,
Yeah.
so we're gonna see a Porkins.
Yeah, Porkins didn't die. He's
No,
coming
no, no,
back
this-
to
No,
save the
this will
day.
be like a prequel to that.
No, it won't be. It won't be a prequel. It'll be post. We would be. They were going to try to originally keep this stuff in the same time period as Mandalorian originally. So we still don't know
Yeah, I feel
officially.
that.
Yeah, I think it
It's
would
going
be
to feature
post.
Dave Filoni's. I can't remember his character's name. His
The guy
pilot
from
character.
Inconvenience.
What's that?
Yeah, those two guys.
You meant
I would totally
Trapper
watch a
Wolf.
movie with those
Trapper
two.
Wolf. Yeah,
Trapper
yeah,
Wolf.
yeah, Trapper Wolf. Yeah. And,
But that
I
see,
forgot the
around
other
this
name.
era, like the rebels are just the police at this point, you know.
That's it. Yeah.
So it's
I-
kind of like weird.
well, that would have
That
been
kind of
the
bug. It's like, oh, now you're just the Empire.
no Rogue Squadron would have been a feature film around, say, pilots. People were hoping it would have been around Wedge Antilles or someone like that, because Wedge is like,
He
the head
became a
of
fan favorite, and especially
Yeah.
they kind of
Yeah.
they
He was one of the first
Hmm.
side characters who became a fan favorite. For
Yeah.
They also extended on his character recently in like the comics in the last 3
Right.
years, and they gave him this whole big arc where he just does a lot of badass things in a short amount of time. And they're like,
Yeah.
"Yep, one of the best pilots in the galaxy."
Yeah, yeah.
That
But
was all his backup plans.
He's
Well,
like
he
one
did
of the
this and this.
best. He's one of the best because he's the only one that survives who's not a main character.
That was why they
Yeah.
added all that stuff later, though. They were like, "We have to,
Yeah.
we have
Yeah.
to add this stuff to show why he survived this
Right.
great space
I think-
battle."
Yeah.
When I first watched all the Star Wars, I remembered him. I was like, wow, that guy actually made it
Oh,
through
yeah.
all of them.
No,
That's
totally, yeah.
crazy.
yeah.
And like, yeah, you could totally build off of that. I think the
Oh,
one
Star
reference
Star
we
Wars
got
Rebels.
I think the one we got. Yeah, but I only talk about the movies, Brent. I don't care about those.
Right, but Wedge Antilles, he was
Yeah, those aren't
recruited.
canon. Those aren't canon to me. I don't know.
They are
I don't even want to hear it.
completely canon. That's
Wait
Wedge
till
Antilles
Ezra
was
Miller's
recruited
live
from the,
action.
the
Not
Imperial.
to me.
Where's
The
Wedge
only thing
Antilles?
that feels a
I
little
feel
slightly
Jason.
off canon is the lightsaber blaster. I don't know why Kanan allowed that to go past.
Because
I
they
don't
like
know.
Devil May Cry, dude.
Yeah,
They played that game and we're like, oh, this is awesome.
the sword
Let's-
gun
let's-
is sweet.
let's
We
do a
need one of
sword gun.
these.
We got to do this. It's like an anime.
It didn't. Yeah,
You
that's
know,
only it didn't make sense.
it's a-
to know,
it's
like,
the-
it's
the
a stun
Japanese-
gun.
The Japanese culture continues to influence the Star Wars lore.
That's true. Yeah.
Went from started with Kurosawa and now it's just doing like video games and anime.
But Brett, maybe you can answer this. So Kanan
Yeah.
was like, he wasn't that uptight about Jedi rules and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But wouldn't that kind of go against the purpose of a lightsaber is to have a blaster on it?
Oh, you meant for when Ezra builds his
Yeah, when he
the
builds his
light-
lightsaber blaster, like
Um,
Kanan just says that's unusual, but it fits your style or something like that.
The
and
most
just lets it slide.
uncivilized lightsaber
It's-
I've ever seen.
It's a very different style, and the fact is that Kanan at that time still was not really truly teaching Ezra like the full,
Yeah, no, he switches
It was-
off of that kind of fit.
yeah,
quickly,
yeah,
but-
yeah.
I was surprised Kanan let that. You just let him have that for a while. He's stunning guards
Yeah.
with it, shooting. people with
But
it.
again,
I remember when that
Kanan
premiered.
was
That was a big deal when that
Yeah.
premiered.
The thing is that, but look at this though. If you're a child and you're taught in a certain, let's just say a martial art, and you stop training being a child, but you don't get your full instruction to how to finish that martial art off with your skills as a child, and you decide to pick up on it later on in life. You then
Are you
start to
talking about
adapt
Daniel
your
Russo?
own experience and a Daniel Russo kind of thing. Yeah, you kind of do your own little
Wait,
thing
wait a minute. What are we
about
talking
it.
about?
What's that?
I think we're forgetting the big picture here is
Mm.
that they did it because it's cool as a toy, Max.
That is the real answer. I
That's
saw
the
that
real
coming.
answer.
real
Oh
answer.
yeah, absolutely.
I
No,
did
totally,
almost buy
yeah.
the toy
No,
and I don't
totally,
even
yeah.
get the lightsaber.
Yeah.
See what
Yeah.
they
It
do?
looks
They'll-
kind of
they'll-
ugly.
they make their decisions based on what
Toyetic.
toys sell, and then you
But-
come back later and then make the lore on
Yeah.
it.
And then
But
you just
remember,
buy
so-
it.
That's the Star Wars
Yeah,
tradition.
yeah.
Like
So
they don't have names, not until they have a toy. Do they have a name?
a more Dave Filoni answer to why he would let Kanan is undisciplined as a Jedi. They even say that specifically in the series. So
No, look at
the
his
fact that
facial
he is
hair.
undisciplined means that he will let things slide like
No
that
uncivilized.
and let his
Either a
let his
board,
pupil.
it's either a beard or nothing.
Yeah.
Come on, no in between.
Yeah.
That's crazy, right?
What?
His facial hair.
What about it?
You could already tell what his character is by just looking at his facial hair.
Okay.
Too much of
He
a
doesn't
given.
have a beard at the beginning though. Anyway.
No, he's got like a weird like soul patch. It's
Mhm.
very dated.
Yep.
Daniel LaRaces? What's this Daniel LaRusso erasure?
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
But
Cobra Kai's the best. I'll put that. The new season of Cobra Kai, it just keeps getting better.
yeah.
This is some of the
I need
best
to catch these series.
Expansion on like an old property I've ever seen
Right.
executed.
Without
You know what I
spoiling it,
mean?
they've
Like-
gone through all 3 movies and justified actions of stuff that you'd watch now and be like, that makes no sense. They've justified all of it and
See,
retroactively
now
made the
that
movies
is
better.
how I like seeing like IPs
Rework.
revisited.
Yeah.
If they could
Yeah.
do that, then that's great writing.
Yeah.
I just love how they bring back the villains like 30 years later, and the villains have to like they talk about their actions and they justify it for what they were going through, and they talk about their lives and
But yeah, it's see, it's
they
like
fight.
the lens we viewed the original Karate Kid are different
Yeah.
from what we have today. It was a lot less complicated. We had good guys and bad guys. But nowadays you're thinking it's a lot more gray area than that.
Yeah.
That's what life is. And so
Yeah,
you
it's
got to
all gray.
consider like these people trained, they're like athletes. Like just because they're good at what they do doesn't mean they're the bad guy.
Mhm.
And like revisiting that is like a huge like what I love about Cobra Kai. It is a lot more complicated than just winning and losing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of like it was a trope that we had in the 80s how the bad guys were just bad guys.
Yeah,
there
yeah,
was
they
no
really
there was
expand
no
on that.
dynamic thing on like
Yeah.
why they were just
Yeah.
assholes. And so you just write them that way.
But
But-
that was high school in the 80s though. You had your gangs and you had
I know, but they
nerds
were
and
all
the
people
sports
too.
kid, yeah.
Like the
Yeah,
gangs were
yeah,
dealing with
yeah.
stuff too. They're humans.
Oh, for sure. No, but as a kid in that time period, you were never privy to why they were like that.
Yeah,
or
because
why
you
they
weren't
were, yeah.
them, and you had your
No,
own
I was
viewpoint, right?
I was my own viewpoint, and I was the nerdy kid and the loner of the group kind of thing. So there was a group of loners that were separate from that, and so we never stopped to see that side of the other people.
And nor did they to
yeah.
you.
Exactly, yeah.
But that's not reality, you know.
Right.
We grow
No,
up
no,
and we
totally,
find
yeah.
out, and
Yeah.
we deal with like
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
deal with the cards we deal, you know.
Yeah.
And it affects you in your later life. And I think
Yeah.
Cobra Kai does a really great job of adding that level of realism
Yeah.
to something that was just a trope in the 80s.
Oh, for sure.
And
Yeah.
they also bring back this like 80s tropes into the modern day,
Mhm.
which is it's almost better than when they reverse it, and then it's like
Yeah.
they have to face something that's like it doesn't happen today. And then someone will exclaim like, "Why? What is happening in this life right now? What world am I living in?"
Right. Right.
Yeah, the self-awareness of like what they're coming from. It's like, say, the movie Air Bud, for instance. We all know what that movie
Right.
is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what it is.
Could you explain
I
the?
think-
Yeah,
yeah.
you'd be able to
I've
know.
seen
It's like,
it.
oh,
It's
it's
a dog
a
playing baseball.
dog
Or
playing
basketball.
like basketball.
That's it.
And imagine all the other kids trying out to be in that basketball team, but then a dog gets it. Imagine that kid coming home. It's like, hey, son, did you make the team? No, a dog did though. And like, you got to think of these kids who deal with that. And we're on the subject. Stuart Little. Imagine all those.
Oh yeah, that's the one that got adopted. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I'm about to break down Stuart Little for you though.
The
So
mouse.
he's not a
The
mouse. Stuart
He's not a
Little is
mouse?
not a mouse. No, he's a human that looks like a mouse.
Oh,
Google it.
that's even
Okay.
weirder.
It's so weird. That's the
Huh.
original idea of Stuart Little is that he's
Oh,
not
really?
actually a mouse.
He's a mouse boy.
described as looking like a mouse.
Wow.
Oh, really?
It's insane. So he was adopted to save his life, supposedly.
All right.
Huh.
So that's good.
It's
It's just there are other orphans too, you know.
Yeah, exactly. They just picked the
It's
one
like-
the other ones wouldn't pick.
But it's
Yeah.
like that. I like that Cobra Kai will take the realism and then apply it to something that was just so trivial, like a Karate Kid movie. And I
Right.
think that's the best way to deal with IP these days, and they're
Yeah.
doing a great job.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Terry Silver has one of the greatest lines in the world in I think it was like 2 seasons ago, where he said he's talking about Karate Kid 2, and he's the villain that Kreese brings in, and he's just acting like a maniac the whole movie. He justifies his actions by saying, "I was so high on cocaine and revenge, I didn't know what I was doing. I terrorized a teenager for months." And that's his
So
entire
awesome,
existence
and they're
in
able
that
to do
movie.
it with one line like that. And it's like, well,
Exactly.
it was the '80s, and there was a lot of cocaine, I guess. That's so good. Because yeah, when you go back to watching movies from the '80s, you're like, "The hell is going on?
So this-
Why is
these
the
are
mom
grown adults
drinking
tired-
so much? and stuff like that. You know, where's
I
the
remember
dad?
in Karate Kid, there's always grown adults just hassling a kid.
Bad News Bears,
Yeah.
driving, drinking alcohol with sitting on the back of a convertible or whatever. Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. What's that?
There's
Hang on.
Sarah Ferris Bueller with the
So
ballets.
Ferris Bueller movie with the ballets. Yes, yeah.
I love the ballets
That's
are my
great.
favorite.
Actually, wait. I did read something this past week that they were trying to put forward of doing a TV series based around Ferris Bueller.
Well, that's what they just said right there.
Yeah, that's only. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's asking, are we
Yeah,
excited
right.
for the Ferris
Oh,
Bueller movie?
sorry, movie. Oh, I thought
Read
it was
the
actually a
stuff, Brent.
series. No, I thought it was a series.
my
I had read.
Liz, did
There
you
was
watch
a Karate Kid movie coming out. Another.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Another
They're doing
Karate
a
Kid. But it's
Ferris
not
Bueller
related to
movie
Cobra
about
Kai.
ballets.
But yeah. Yeah. The other big thing that happened this week, guys, Andor had its premiere. They dropped the first 3 episodes. I know a few people who went to it.
Does that stormtrooper
And-
look like an action figure?
What's
It
that?
looks like
It's a statue, I think.
dummy. A statue, yeah.
No
think it's
kidding,
just-
Brent.
it's-
Of course,
no.
it's a statue. I
Well,
can tell.
it's-
I'm saying
I
it looks
just-
like an action figure.
Really?
It's the
Okay,
arms. It's
fair
the way
enough.
they're just like
Arms are
kind of
too
out.
separated.
Well, they're
Yeah.
getting closer to anyway. Andor had its premiere. I know a few friends who went and saw it at.
I like that new droid. It's cool.
Yeah, I love this droid. I want to see it in action. I just want to see it in like
They're
full
killing it
on
on the new droids. Like
See,
this.
what kind of
Oh,
what
yeah.
kind of droid is that?
It's some sort of a minor droid that's all like.
That's what it looks like. Yeah, it's got ruggedness to it.
But the first reports are it's extremely slow, and there are times that you'll forget you're even watching a Star Wars series, which I think is kind of advantageous. I'm very excited to see these characters and the
Brent, you
development
don't
of these
like
characters.
slow things, though.
I don't
If
like
it's
slow
Star-
things,
if it's
but it's
not
Star
Star
Wars, so but because it's
Be
Star
really
Wars,
slow.
I'm going to be able to pick up on those. Oh, shut up, Jason. One of the actors who were at the premiere, which was kind of interesting, was Erin Kellyman, who played in Anthony's Nest in Solo.
She's in everything, man.
She's in everything, but the fact that she'd be here in LA
Things
at the
she's in.
premiere of this, I'm hoping to see Anthony's Nest to pop up, in Andor. It makes perfect sense they would.
It's the beginning of the rebellion.
Will the
That's it,
timelines
yeah.
match up for her age and all that?
Yeah, I think this is still after Solo. Solo's only a few years prior to this. So. Well, it depends on which time period she comes in, because this is
Diego
starting
Luna-
at Andor when he's a child, but then they jump forward to when
Yeah, I
5
think
years.
she might be
before.
way older because,
Not by a lot though.
well, Diego
because-
Luna still looks the same as he
But
does
he-
in Rogue, and it's
Well,
a whole
he's-
different cast of people from like.
Right, but he is 5 years. It is 5 years prior
For
to
5
Rogue One.
years, she was like
So
I guess a teenager, young adult in
Yeah.
Solo, so she would
And
be
he's
like her
Spanish.
late
We don't-
30s.
you know.
by
So
now,
with the
right?
logic of casting, they'd have to recast her if she's going to be with Diego Luna on screen.
Yeah, she'd have to be in like her late 30s.
I don't think so. Oh.
Because like, what would you have that actor be Han Solo alongside Diego Luna? Because he looked like
Well-
Harrison Ford by then.
What do you mean? No,
Because
but
Rogue
Diego
One was
Luna's
like
still-
right before the first Star Wars, and he was already
Right.
he was
Yeah,
already
and that would be
Harrison
and that
Ford
would be
by
the
then.
look of Harrison Ford. But the thing is, that's season 2, and it's going to build up. All of the first season is only about 5 years. Is all based around 5 years before Rogue One. So it is like Luke
So
and
we-
Leia are
so if
15 years
Harrison-
old right now.
So if Harrison
So-
Ford was there, he'd look like Harrison Ford by now.
He'd be a blend between.
He'd look like what he
Aldrin,
did
Emmerich, and
in American Graffiti.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, he would.
Or you guys
would.
remember him in Apocalypse Now?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's after. That's after.
He's wearing
Either way,
glasses
guys.
in it. That's
Yeah,
what
you
makes
have to get
that
the
weird.
big, the nerd glass, the big nerd glasses.
Yeah.
So he would
Whichever
look
way-
like an American Graffiti Han Solo
Mm.
at this point, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So like she's just doesn't age, I guess.
That's the thing.
Oh
She'd
no,
have to-
she's definitely a few years older from Solo. Come on, she's.
no, I mean, they would have to
But
be.
you know,
like,
you
a
understand what
different
I'm
actress,
saying,
yeah.
though, Max, right?
Yeah, she'd have to. They have to cast someone in their late 30s at least.
Why late? Wait. Why late 30s? Hang on, because
Wouldn't
all-
it be at
all-
least
them-
15 years after Solo?
but Solo's Solo's only 10 years in, I believe.
Oh,
it
10
was.
years. So she
Yeah,
would still
yeah.
be in her 30s then.
Yeah, but
But the actress is in her early 20s, and she looks
no, but she popped up in
teenager.
I'm
she
just basing
popped up
this
in
on
Solo
casting
only
logic that
five.
is established by Han Solo and Lando Calrissian.
She's only
So
5 years
they would
after
have to-
Solo. She
They
no
would
no
have
no
to
no. You guys
recast
have got
her as a different person by the
No.
time she's in this timeline. You know,
this timeline is only 5 years roughly after Solo.
is it?
Not that much different. Yeah, she's
I thought it was
she's
later. I thought it was like 15 years.
huh?
I thought it was a lot
Okay.
later after Solo.
It's 20 years. Luke Skywalker is born in the beginning of the Empire, right? Empire Day is Luke Skywalker, Ezra Bridger, and Princess Leia. They're born then. They are 1920 when A New Hope starts up. So when you consider the fact that Solo is about, say, roughly 10 years after the Empire has created, but 10 years before A New Hope, and Andor is 5 years before A New Hope, then there's only been a 5 year gap between Solo, 5 or 6 year gap between Solo and
I guess they could pull
Andor.
it off.
In where we pick up on Andor when he's in his young
Well,
adulthood.
see, the thing is, they don't need to recast her because she's like, okay.
Yeah, she's got a young face and
What I want to know is how does Obi-Wan age so quickly?
Yeah, I wish they
because
answered that. I really
because
wish they
he's
answered
been
that.
on
He's an
Tatooine.
old man.
He's an old man who's on
Yeah, all
Tatooine.
the-
so,
all those
hey,
people-
Yeah, but he's got a
Tatooine.
really nice cave. He's got a nice cave with a lot of
the aliens-
shelter.
the Tatooine
no,
Sons. It's the Tatooine
He's
Sons.
been on Tatooine and he still looks like Ewan McGregor currently.
I don't know. I
He
mean,
ages a
yeah.
lot in these next like.
Owen McGregor's only like a handful of years younger than Alec Guinness.
I know.
I
I'm
mean, I would
just
say
saying
like
with
a
older
lot,
movies
like-
and how the old people
For sure,
look at the
yeah,
actors and
yeah,
like you just
yeah.
have to go with.
Yeah.
They're recasting. It's just you have to go
It's
with it. now.
it's like an earthquake where it
Yeah.
accumulates with Richter scale. Tatooine, you accumulate age with years being on Tatooine, and it
And once you hit
accumulates and builds up.
50, your hair just completely
it.
goes gray. You lose all muscle
Yeah.
density in your body.
Yeah, and Anakin looks like he's as old as he is by the end of Return of the Jedi because he's like burnt
got
leathery
hard life.
bacon under that. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, under that mask there. So it's like, yeah. So it's like
It's really hot.
it's been really tough being Anakin too.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
only
really hot
bringing
here.
it up
My hair
because
fell out.
I'm only saying, like, based on the logic of the casting, she
Right.
would be a different person by this time of the timeline. That's all I'm saying.
I feel you.
Right.
So should we get her to be played by an Alec Guinness hologram?
A Tupac
Yeah.
hologram, like at Coachella.
Or she needs to be
You know
played
that's in
by,
LA at
what's
like
her
a
name?
really sketchy weed lounge.
Yeah, yeah.
That
Really?
actual hologram. This
Oh,
guy paid him. I met the guy that owns it. He paid like $30K for the rights to it. So he has it forever, right? And it's just in his sketchy little
Right.
weed lounge.
Oh, in the likeness of
Yeah, yeah.
Tupac in hologram form.
But
Yeah.
he's got a lot of other He's got Rodney Dangerfield's hologram on there. There's a lot of holograms out
Oh,
there.
man.
Right.
I saw a hologram of someone recently. We were at this recording studio and they had like a hologram of like, I don't know, like John Coltrane or Louis Armstrong or something like that.
Right.
And this isn't
Pretty
just
cool.
I'm thinking about Vanilla Sky either.
Okay.
There's a hologram of John Coltrane in that movie, but
Right.
we saw one and it was pretty cool seeing that tech.
Yeah, it looks great from far away too.
Yeah.
I will say
And
that.
even
Far
going up
away.
close is kind of cool, but it's just
Yeah.
I don't think we'll ever get to the point where we're just projecting on straight air. I don't
Yeah.
think that's a thing. I don't think that's a thing that's ever going to happen in our lifetime. It's always
Right.
going to have to be on glass or something, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
We haven't reached that level of technology that's in Star Wars. We just project on nothing.
Yeah. But yeah. It's
Actually, augmented reality is getting there.
Feel that way,
right.
but it's still like you're wearing something, you know.
Yeah.
Well, no, but I mean, like, you can put projections up, and then you can press the projection, and it'll recognize it.
Oh
Right.
yeah, it's interactive. Yeah.
Yeah, so interactive AR
Mhm.
does kind of exist, but not
Yeah.
not in a
Yeah.
hologrammy way.
Yeah, yeah.
The closest thing to hologram we got is like those
Like video
drone
games?
performances
Yeah.
where they're kind of
yeah.
lighting up and like making a giant hologram
Tupac.
in the sky.
Right.
No, the drone performances. Like
Oh, drone
people
in the
just, like
sky.
light shows with
I mean, like an
drones.
American flag.
I saw a thing today on
Burning Man?
I saw a
They did
thing.
Burning Man?
I saw a thing where like someone was like, "Why? How about we go to like one of those isolated islands
Mhm.
of like indigenous people, like not connected to the civilized world at all,
Right.
and then do a crazy drone show in front of them with like a giant
Oh,
face, like talking to them.
Take it.
Oh, this is so true.
That's our god. Like do some research and like find out who they worship, and then
Right.
Who's
create
that one
with a
island
drone.
that keeps killing missionaries that tries to go
Sentinel
there?
Yeah, it's
Island?
like it's out like in the
Sentinel Island, I think is what
I
it's
can't remember
called.
what it's
Right.
called. Yeah, do
Where
it
the
there.
guy
They're gonna
got-
lose their
yeah.
minds.
And that guy got Magellan. That's what I
Yeah.
always call
He
it.
got
when I-
Magellan hard. And
That's
then
what I always call it.
everyone tried to push back against like, the people. I'm like, what did you guys think was going to happen?
I remember when that happened. I was around like Thanksgiving once, like one year. Like missionary went out there to try to spread the word, and they killed him.
kill them and
Yeah.
eat them. And
I'm gonna
They
guys.
killed,
I'm gonna pull in.
killed him and sent his body back on a
They-
boat. They
they
just
just
pushed the
left-
boat out.
They just left his body out there.
I'm
It's
gonna
deterrent,
just
man.
put.
Like, don't come here. This is our place.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm gonna pull in Anchorman for a few minutes. He's gonna chat about.
Anchorman.
How you doing, Anchorman?
Hey.
Hello.
Can you hear us?
Is that
Hey,
Jeff
how's it going?
Lockley?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Jeff Lockley
that
picture.
right?
Yes. Yeah. Luckily, there you go. How you doing,
Well,
man?
It's
There.
actually Stephen Grant wearing just a hat.
There you go. So yeah, Anchorman had some interesting stuff happen a few weeks ago.
Wagwan.
He ended up by meeting John Wesley Shipp, who played original Flash in the '90s, which is my Flash, and he also had a reoccurring role in the Flash TV series. But yeah, man,
Jay
tell
Garrick,
us.
the real OG Flash.
Kirk Douglas vibes.
Yeah. So Anchorman, where did you actually meet him at?
He was at a Comic-Con expo
yeah?
around where I live. Not
Oop, say that again.
and yeah, it was like he had his own panel.
Oh, very cool. That's awesome. Did you get to meet
Can you
him?
hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Did he have much
Yeah,
to
I got
talk
to
about?
meet
What was he? Yeah. What was he talking about?
He was busy talking to other people, but I mainly just asked him about the final season of The Flash.
Oh yeah, we're coming up on that. That's they're only a half season, right? What did he say?
Yeah. He just said he's in it.
Oh, that's it. Okay, fair enough. That's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool.
His Flash is so muscular, it's crazy.
Oh, Grant Gustin?
No,
No, John Wesley Shipp.
he looks like he walked right out of an Alex Ross painting.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the chess piece on him right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I'm looking at old pictures of his Flash, and it just looks like
Oh, hold on.
Alex Ross. I feel like
Yeah.
he posed for all the superheroes for Alex Ross or something. You know, it's like he's Alex Ross's main model.
Well,
Right.
Alex Ross might have used some of those old photos to do drawings off of. He uses a lot of photo references. So
Yeah, a lot of photo
Yeah.
references, a
I
lot
can
of
see that
models, a lot of
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
It's all just realism at that point.
What else was going on at the convention you went to? Anything cool? Other cool things? Anchorman? Oh,
Anchorman, you're on the air.
you went quiet again. That's all right. That's cool.
Stay
Yeah, guys. So, yeah. What else is there? Oh, we didn't even talk about. I wanted to touch base on Game of Thrones too. We got a new episode tonight. Tonight's the last
Yeah.
episode that we see the actors playing their younger selves. And
That's right.
then we move into this new phase of Game of Thrones, I guess.
You know what I'm
Rings of
excited
Power.
to see is how much like
The other one.
Viserion,
House of the Dragon. Yeah.
what's his name? Viserys
Viserys.
is
Yep.
going to deteriorate at his old age.
Right.
You know, how
Yeah.
messed up is he gonna look?
Yeah.
It's like at
Yeah,
this
I got
point,
this.
like everyone's still young.
Yeah.
He's missing his finger. He's got all these
Yeah.
sores all over him that we got to see in this last episode. And
Yeah.
is he gonna have like half of his face is like gone? Just-
Right. I mean,
what's
is
he
he
gonna
is
look
he
like?
is he actually there? Oh, we got him back. Hey, here's it
We're
gone.
gonna
Man.
see him,
So-
at least, right?
Yeah, Anchorman, you been watching Game of Thrones? Sorry, well, House of the
never
Dragon.
watched it.
Yeah.
I never watched it.
Oh, you never watched it? Okay, fair enough. We're just jumping into that for a little bit. Yeah. Ultimately, we're gonna get this big time jump tonight, so it's gonna be interesting, and curious to see where they go from there. But
I hope
I'm
this isn't
excited.
the last time we see the young actors because they've been doing
Yeah.
a great job.
Yeah.
the young
It's
Rhaenyra and
only-
then Allison.
Yeah, it's just Allison and Rhaenyra are gonna be.
I know they're getting shaft. I don't want to say shafted. That's not fair.
Yeah.
The older actors who get to play, but you
They
know,
each got to fulfill their obligatory sex scene, so
yeah.
we could move on now.
Yep.
So hers was a little more. Actually, they were both pretty traumatic.
They were.
They didn't get to have any of the fun ones.
For sure.
Huh? Okay.
Though, what's her name? The actress played young Rhaenyra. She told a pretty funny story about how they filmed that whole orgy brothel scene where.
Oh yeah.
She said that they didn't let them see the set or anyone inside beforehand.
Oh, really?
So their reactions were trying to be as real and in character as possible.
Okay.
They pulled an alien chestburster.
Yeah.
Like
Which is
original
Or
alien
Goonies
chestburster.
looking at the ship.
I was in the whole time like, why is she smiling so much? The character looks way too like happy and excited. I realized, it was probably like
Actual
a little
reaction.
actual reaction, a little overwhelming. Like, oh, all these people are actually naked and on top of each other right now.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Either way, yeah.
I think it smells in there, or is it?
I could visually could
it's
smell.
a film set. There's
yeah.
no AC while they're shooting. There's
Yeah.
hot lights.
It's just
They're all
naked.
naked.
Yeah.
You can't
It would-
wear
it
like
would-
excessive deodorant because you don't want to have
nasty.
those marks on your body.
Well, I'm just thinking the volume of people in there. Yeah, it's gonna smell, especially all naked,
yeah,
rubbing all
it
over
would-
each other. And those
It would
lights.
be pretty
No
small.
AC, like it's indoors. Like
Yeah.
it's probably like the worst smelling soundstage. I wouldn't say that. I was about to say worst smelling soundstage in the area, but that's definitely not true.
But like, okay, outside of filming it though,
Yeah.
imagine in that world how much that would stink.
Yeah.
It was just a bunch of medieval people naked, just like
Stinky, unbathed people.
oh, dude,
Yeah.
that must be.
And they
so
wouldn't smell
nasty.
anything.
There's
They would be
no-
like garbage men where they don't smell nothing. They're just like their normal smell. So
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
Oh, we don't smell anything.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like if we were to go there and smell it, just
Mm-hmm.
like no
We would not
indoor
have that same
plumbing,
smile.
no indoor
Yeah.
plumbing,
We get the black
Yeah.
plague.
nothing
by
like
just
that.
smelling it.
The sanitation standards
There's the
they
chamber pot
had
in the corner.
back then, yeah, all
Mhm.
using chamber pots and like washing themselves with like old water with rose petals
Yeah,
soaked in
it-
there. It's
would-
nasty.
yeah.
Those brothels must be so gross.
Yeah, and just think also on top of we're living in a era without toilet paper. It's like any time period without toilet paper, it's gonna smell really bad around.
Yeah, just
Anyway.
using like leather. What were they using to wipe their butts? Corn on the cobs, corn
I
cobs.
have
Papyrus paper, leaves, that type of stuff.
I believe it was.
Or they're just own hand, and then they would wash
I think it
it.
was a scoop of the hand. Yeah, a scoop of the hand, and then you're clean. That
gotta
was
wash
that
your
was
hands.
life before
To wash
the,
your and then rose
before,
petals.
before the 18th century kind of thing.
I'm just happy to live in an age where we have splinter-free toilet paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point.
Anyway,
guys.
this brings up a
Rationally,
whole issue that I have with the Game of Thrones and a lot of these fantasy genres.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure I mentioned this before, but
Right.
the halt on technology that just doesn't happen in these worlds.
Mhm.
Thousands of years of the same era, and there's no advancements in any type of technology or science.
Right.
or
Well, it's
anything
usually
like
the
that.
point in fantasies that it's usually being held back by someone or a larger party for the
Yeah.
run.
Well, this is I bring up
Mm-hmm.
with Game of Thrones. I
Yeah.
think it's the dragons that are holding back technology.
Yeah,
Any
yeah.
type, there could be like some type of.
But does the
like,
technology
boost.
advance between Rings of Power? Sorry, God.
No.
Between
Everything's
House
still
of
the
Dragon
same.
House of the Dragon to Game of Thrones.
That's
It's still
the
the
biggest
same. Yeah.
complaint
Yeah, I don't
between,
But
see
even though there's no dragons for 200 years.
Yeah, well,
Well, that's-
like
I think,
because
you know-
like I mean, 200 years is still not enough time for you to, like,
It's called the Industrial Age. That happened within 200 years.
they didn't have it though.
Oh, I know they
yeah,
didn't
but
have
that's
it.
because the Targaryens were
Right.
in charge, and then
Yeah.
once the Targaryens left
Yeah.
charge, then it
Right.
became a battle.
I
of
guess
power
there
after
was
the
a moment.
Baratheons.
Yeah, there was a moment of enlightenment, but then dragons came back.
Right.
They did have that moment of social progression towards the end, which was going to lead towards meaningful change, and then King's
Then she
Landing
came
got
by and did the
demolished.
thing with the
But
dragon.
that was
Right,
the whole
right.
that was the whole larger allegory of the story of
Yeah.
humanity holding itself back.
Yeah. So like it's like the same way what like Library of Alexandria, for instance.
Yes.
It's what Christianity was to that. Because that set us back centuries
Oh yeah.
from just burning down
Well,
that.
the fall of the Roman Empire was Rome specifically. Was the technological advancement of the time, and by
Yeah.
the time when it did fall,
But
and
for something
Christianity came in. Yeah,
but for a world to go thousands of years without any industrial revolution happening,
yeah.
I say it has to be the dragons holding them back, or maybe
Okay.
that's my best case. That's my best guess.
I always assumed it was just the Battle of Thrones, and these leaders weren't the people that were able to get these changes done, had the money and power to be able to start these changes, weren't interested in these changes. And when these changes started happening,
Right.
the Meisters or someone probably shut it down fast because they thought it would lose power to the king.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then
Yeah.
they have the Citadel, where like that's their tower, like library.
That
of
was the
Alexandria.
technological advancements, though. There seemed to be like more technological.
I think a
magical
lot of it lies in the
advancements
Meisters
that would
too,
that would
is
type. Yeah, that would.
Yeah,
that,
but they
that
were never
kept-
able to
yeah.
go past what Bronze Age or Iron Age. What is
Yeah,
that?
because the Meisters or Meisters, whatever they're called, they keep all the tradition and they do everything the same way. And you can see them doing a lot of harmful stuff because they don't know any better, which is an allegory to our old.
I like that.
It's the politics, the politics of like just subverting any type of type change that would take you out of power.
Yeah.
So it is this Game of Thrones that is holding them back as well.
I do think probably what we've seen though in the big change of Game of Thrones to House of the Dragon is that Game of Thrones seemed to have better medical care. It seemed to do a little bit more about
I guess advancements in medicine. Yeah.
Yeah, like in House of the Dragon, he's just sticking his hand in a bowl of maggots and he's like, "Take care of it, boys."
Yeah.
Like in Game of Thrones, they didn't do anything like that.
Yeah, they had more or less started looking at cures into Greystone and all that sort of stuff.
Or the grayscale was an old-ass writing that was written like way before that time.
Right.
So someone figured that out a long time ago. It's just
exactly.
Sam Tarley was willing to try it.
Yes, yeah.
And that's probably another big thing in the universe is that because of their world is so divided between the lands and all that, there's no global trade of ideas to make meaningful change happen across the world.
Yeah.
Like if someone invents a light bulb in Dorne, they're not taking it to King's Landing and saying, "Look at my light bulb." They're saying Dorne has light.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. What's that?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, at this point, we've got a few things coming up this week. Andor starts this week, so we're going to start doing some reaction videos to Andor, which I'm very excited for. I think we all are excited for that.
I just rewatched Rogue One.
Yeah? Oh, yeah?
Prepared,
just to get yourself prepared? Fair enough. And then, another Game of Thrones tonight, or House of the Dragon tonight, and I'm guessing,
We got stacked week of TV. We got Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, She-Hulk, Andor, and
Rings of Power.
We discussed on why Game of Thrones world is halted technologically, but then what's the excuse for Middle Earth?
Liam, we're ending.
Their world.
What's their excuse? That's
I think
thousands
the
of years.
whole thing is that they
still-
don't have, their technology just doesn't exist in the same way. They rely on magic and not science as much.
Yeah.
Well, not rely on it. They believe in magic more than science, and their people kind of change more than the world does. Like hobbits moved into hobbit holes.
Yeah.
Elves became more established. The dwarves rose and fell. Their people change more than their
It's
world
all magic.
does.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, it's like, I guess it's kind of like the beginning of Enchanted. How like magic was used because it's hard to use, but once you work at it, you'd be good at it, and you could take care of all the luxuries you need. But then someone happens to discover electricity.
Well, I'm curious.
It changes the whole course of everything.
Yeah. Well,
so the
that's
magic
what
is forgotten.
Isn't Mithril? Yeah. The idea of that being brought in now, we know where that more or less goes to being a new kind of armor for the elves, but I guess we're going to see a play of history as to how the elves and the dwarves get even more isolated from each other, I'm guessing, because it seems like whatever Elrond's promise
they don't
was...
really have the best relationship. They're
No,
still
they
very,
don't, but
untrustworthy of one another.
Right, but the idea that how's Mithril going to get... I mean, that's...
Mithril,
yeah.
Mithril was the big thing. Remember how Bilbo got that... he got the fleece made of Mithril?
Correct, exactly, yeah.
It's as light as silk.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, it stays with them for a while. It becomes one of the most cherished resources until they basically use it all up.
Right.
I like that because, like, yeah, the Lord of the Rings series does deal with like, I mean, it is based on like the armor race or weapon race kind of like,
Right. Yeah.
you know, like
Arms
that
race.
does arms
Race
race.
with it. Yeah. Mhm.
It does kind of reflect the arms race in a
Right.
sense because like,
Yeah.
well, then the Game of Thrones also has Valerian steel too, so
Yeah, but
Yeah.
honestly,
there's
Valerian
elements of
still
real
means
world
so much
stuff.
more less.
Yeah.
It means so
Huh?
much less. Valerian steel means so much less than Mithril. Like Mithril's like
Well,
near
yeah,
untangible. Valerian steel
Yeah.
is just
Yeah.
like
yeah, you can't really compare those two, but I mean that's what that universe has of like
Yeah.
some of their strongest,
Right. Metals.
their most precious metals.
Yeah.
every
you know?
universe has got their strong metals.
Yeah, we got
I
our.
think you need that to have a well-rounded universe. You need your vibranium, your
There's always
adamantium.
the strongest metals, but that is what the arms race was before.
Yeah.
I guess nuclear
Yeah.
war.
Yeah.
It's like who has the best sword,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, right.
Or grenade or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the arrows changed the game, so they're all kind of stuck with this like in an era that
Yeah.
we kind of lived in for, I guess, a couple thousand years, huh? Think everything from Genghis Khan up until
Yeah.
like everything Genghis Khan was, everything was pretty halted technologically. Everything post-industrial.
Wait, Genghis
Era.
Khan was. I thought it was even before. I think it's. I think
Oh yeah,
the fall
but
of, the
think
fall
about
of Rome. Yeah, the fall
but think
of
about
Rome
that.
is
Like
really the-
everything seemed pretty much the same
Yeah.
Yeah.
from like
for
the end of Rome
centuries.
up until
Sure,
like
yeah.
the industrial.
Yeah.
Until the industrial.
Yeah, think about
Revolution.
how fast things
Modern
progressed
science
after
and
that. Where,
industrial.
like,
But then once we got that, everything just escalated so fast.
And it still is.
Yeah.
It still is. We are gonna.
that would
see
be really
ourselves in a-
interesting to see a fantasy show take place during their own like industrial kind of revolution.
That's what I would like to see.
Ooh, that's
And
interesting.
then to
See,
see like
that's a really
everything
interesting
happen
idea.
so
I've-
fast after that, you know.
I've always loved the idea, like whether it's say something like, and I'm going as basic here, but the He-Man and the Master Universe is this magic and technology exist in the same universe, and that just to see, I love the concept of magic and technology existing in the same world.
That's why you
from
like Star
stories.
Wars so much.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah,
Wizards in
the
space.
forces.
Wizards in space.
Yeah, but that is still myth.
magic,
It's not magic as much as. Well, I mean, I guess there are parts of it magic, but it's like it's more
like
spiritual.
magic,
dude.
It's more
The hokey
spiritual,
religion.
hokey religion, spiritual rather than actual magic. But I do love magic in technology.
They do
running
explicitly
around,
state in
for
Star
sure.
Wars that the Hokey religion is no match for a good blaster.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but
Wookiee religion.
that's your opinion on it. But yeah,
That's what Han
your
Solo
opinion,
says.
man.
your opinion.
You did go Brent quoting Big Lebowski. I didn't know you had it in you, man.
There you go.
He doesn't know.
Yeah.
He's quoted.
I didn't know I was quoting the Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
Elijah's right.
Damn it, Johnny!
Anyway, guys,
We
we've
did
gone
say
on.
Oriental earlier today. She said
Yeah,
China.
there you go. We're going on long enough today, guys.
China,
So
Never
yeah,
let
guys.
that go, Brent.
Thanks
You slipped.
for
Rugs and plates and
Yeah, it can only be used to describe objects.
Thanks for coming in for the chat for a little bit there, Anchorman, just giving us your little insight on meeting John Wesley Shipp there. And then, guys, thanks for joining us on the stream in the chat. And, we shall be chatting on Jason's Twitch channel on Wednesday, probably talking more about this week's House of the Dragon as well, and other
And
bits and
Andor comes out
pieces.
Tuesday. So,
Andor comes out Tuesday,
yeah.
so we're going to be dropping a reaction video for sure. That's going to
I'd
be
like
a very
to
long.
discuss more on AI art too. I think
Yeah,
I'd like to
yeah,
know what
on
you
your
could say on that.
we had a good conversation on AI art on Jason's Twitch channel the other day, which was cool. And then we got it's like 4 shows a week now. It's going to be crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So sorry you missed us there, Liam Live, but we same bat time, same bat channel, everything like that. All right, guys, thank you so much. We shall chat with you all later. Have a good
Peace out,
one.
guys.